All right, everybody. As we welcome everyone into stream today, I would love to take an opinion poll on just how many people we think we're tricking with the OF update being part of the stream title. How many motherfuckers do you think are jumping in off OF update in the going live notification, just going, huh? You said the what update? What's up, Fury Titan? Hello, Lemon. Welcome to the stream. Overhead light was on incorrectly. Good morning, White Tiger. Ain't no way there's an OF update. We got one at least. We got one of you. Why was that literally me? I love clickbait. I love baiting people potentially with clicks. Let me open up the order for today. First things first, I'm going to pop the order into the chat so that the people getting their decks roasted today can sound off as they get here. Starry, I already see you. So, Starry, Plain Simple Steve, Chaotic Order, and Turtle Stew. Which, Starry, I know you're already here. Turtle Stew told me they were going to be, like, a couple hours late, so I know we're not getting Turtle Stew until later. What's up, Serious Skies? Nephris, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend, for the 5th month in a row. OF update. I'm here. Let's go. I love trickery. Squid Squad, hit me with that personal question, my friend. Okay, so personal question, do you have a favorite bird, and is it the toucan? I like the toucan. Let's see. Do I have a favorite? I feel like there's a distinction between favorite bird to know exists and favorite bird to, like, own, right? Like, there are birds that I think are cool as hell that I would not let in my house under any circumstances. Like a peregrine falcon. I had that shit ready to go, by the way. I think these guys are dope. That's a 240 mile an hour maximum diving speed. That's real as hell. That is not going into my living room under any circumstances. Not at all. Ted Q's Missile, thank you for that Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. And thank you for kicking off that hype train. Speaking of hype trains, 3-minute ad break. Get banished to the goddamn advertisement realm because we need to get the mid-rolls and pre-rolls out of the way before we kick things off with Starry-Eyed's deck roast. So Chaotic Order, if you are here, let me know. White Bread, thank you for the 2 gifted community subs. And Tetchrunes, thank you for the 10 gifted community subs. Welcome to Dog Heaven, the both of you. I appreciate that generosity so much. And Blue Jay, thank you for telling me to drink water. I hope you won't mind if I drink a little Gamer Subs GG instead. Tiger, thank you for that call out. We will take... Holy fuck, DMC... Thank you for the 10 gifted subs as well. You ascend ever higher in dog heaven. I appreciate you being here, my goonzier. And Katozumi, thank you for the 10 gifted 10 gifted community subs. Holy shit, you guys. What a way to kick off the OF update stream than with all these gifted subs. White Bread, thank you for the 5 additional gifties. Welcome, one and all, to Dog Heaven. Everybody has busted through the ad break. So let's talk about OF. And by OF, of course, I mean only Fangs, the World of Warcraft content guild I've been a part of for a full week. And if you'd been to any of the last, 3 streams, you'd know that. And if you hadn't, because life exists, you probably thought I was going to hang dong. Not today. But at some point. So for the OnlyFangs update, we had a guild meeting today, and the short version is I am sad. The short version is I am very sad. Um, the For those of you who don't know, this is it's a streamer guild for World of Warcraft hardcore classic, which I love World of Warcraft. I played it a ton as a kid, and recently they had been getting hit with DDoS attacks while trying to raid, causing them to lose a lot of characters, and the guild had called it quits because Blizzard was not reviving any of the characters. And like a day ago, Blizzard said, actually, we're going to revive you. Everyone at OnlyFangs, or almost everybody, went, holy shit, Pog, we get to do it. And at the guild meeting today, the guild leader was like, we're still not doing it. You fools, you idiots. So Soda Poppin', the guild leader, brought up a number of good points about how we're still going to get DDoSed if the guild goes into a raid. That DDoSing is still going to hurt the other people that are trying to just play the game, who are just minding their own business. And we're going to get into a war of attrition with whoever is executing the DDoSing. And they don't have the steam for that. So the way it's going to happen is OnlyFangs is going to do what they're calling one last ride. They want to clear the raid that they had tried to clear when they got DDoSed and get through it successfully one time, and then they're going to call OnlyFangs. So that is a very cool finale for OnlyFangs as a whole. For me, it means I'm basically fucked. Since I am just getting into the guild, I don't have a max level character. I do not yet have any personal relationships with any of these people. There is basically no world in which I get onto a raid team for this one last ride. There's a ton of other people who are not only already ready to go or more popular than me, but have just done more for the guild than I have, right? I've been here 5 fucking days. I haven't done anything meaningful for this guild, and there's tens and tens of people who deserve a spot more than me, even if I was to be able to get to level 60 in time. So that makes me really sad, because I was really, really excited to do it, because I played WoW a ton as a kid, but I never got to do any endgame content in a group. When I played vanilla WoW, which is what Hardcore Classic is based off of, I think the highest level I got to was like 51. So basically all of the like endgame dungeons, all of the endgame raiding I have done, but only on a max level account where I went back through and like soloed it just to get to see it. So I am legitimately very disappointed that I'm not here in time to be able to do it and do it with spectacle. So that is very upsetting. The good news, and I will take one point, Zilla, they're not doing it to me. They're doing it to the members of the guild who were raiding, and it's literally just the like knee-jerk, popular people are doing things, and they want other people to be sad. Like, you know, on a great day here, we will see 200 to 300 viewers, which is amazing. I am bowled over by it. OnlyFangs gets like 60,000 people combined watching their raids. People are trolling them because it's like when they're doing something as the guild, it's this like big, massive event. And some dipshits get off on trying to ruin things like that. Because people were also DDoSing another thing happening in retail World of Warcraft, which is the race to world first, to see who could clear the most recently released content first. People were DDoSing that thing too, because it was also a really big event. So I'm not getting DDoSed. I am simply, you know, hopefully one day we are there. I am simply not popular enough. Caboose, we do have our own guild. We have They Them Goons. So we may still get to raid. So here's the upshot of what's going to happen. Um, Soda Poppin is going to be passing off guild leadership after this one last ride to other members of the guild who want to keep going. I'm going to be trying to level up and see if I can play with those people, and if I'm able to get into a raid team with those people, I will stream OnlyFangs stuff when I'm doing raids with them. I still think that, or even just endgame content that I've literally never gotten to do before with them. I think that will still be cool. I think there will be a good dynamic there. I think there will be great like nostalgia to feel there. I don't know how many people are going to stick around. So we're not going to be, you are not going to be seeing any more like World of Warcraft leveling streams. I'm going to do all the leveling like off stream, mainly so that while I'm doing that sort of more menial stuff, I can either be like scripting skits, you know, like my actual fucking job, or doing clerical work, like catching up on emails, stuff like that. We're still going to keep going with Z and Beard Princess on the weekends. That will still allow me to see a ton of the content I've missed, because Z, Beard Princess, and I are still doing all of the non-raid dungeons, and that is still a ton of content that I've never gotten to see before. So that's still going to be happening. But the OnlyFangs journey may be over as soon as it's begun. There's no controversy, Wolf. The guild is just... and the thing is, like, we got in very, very late. The other people that are in this guild, they've been going for half a year at this point. Which leads me to the other piece of good news, which is there's hope for OnlyFangs 3. Another thing that Soda said during the meeting was because of the DDoSing, he thought that this might be the last OnlyFangs they ever did, because if future attempts at OnlyFangs were just like, oh, we DDoS the server, kill them, and then they quit, there's no point spinning it back up again. But he said that since Blizzard is willing to get involved, we can at least attempt OnlyFangs 3 in the future once everyone is like rested up again. So my hope is that when OnlyFangs 3 happens, I will be able to be a part of that. I have no idea when it's happening. I don't know what the shape of that's going to be. I don't know what the selection process is going to be. So maybe it doesn't pan out. But my current plan is I'm still going to try to raid with this guild after the mantle gets passed, because there's no way that I get into the main raid team. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to at least hope that I can be a part of OnlyFangs 3. They Them Goons is going to continue. If you are any of the people that wanted to join They Them Goons, that's still going on. That's still going to be our community guild in Hardcore Classic. And if we get enough people, we will certainly go on and attempt to raid there. Which is going to lead us to an important poll. Because now I can see my green screen fucking up. There we go. So now that the green screen's fixed, leads us to an important poll. And that poll is going to be, what do we replace the Warcraft time with? Because this has been taking up a huge amount of my variety time. So in some ways, it will be good to have my variety streaming time free again, because quite frankly, I was dragging most of you there under duress. I know some of you like it. I love you guys, right? We were doing straight up trickery to get most people to come watch it. So here are the two primary ideas in my mind, which we're going to hit this poll. And I want to be very clear, this is not going to replace any of the deck roasting streams. The deck roasting streams are really the backbone of the channel at this point. And so like deck roasting streams, Total Drama Tuesdays, those are staying no matter what. So I'm going to open up this poll. I'm going to turn off additional voting. So this is true will of the people. You're only going to have 5 minutes to vote in it, but true will of the people. The ideas I have right now are to do a league ranked grind, to do a mythic ladder arena grind, so that would keep in Magic, and to do to pick up a new game, whether that is like Warcraft 3, whether that is like Dota, whether that is, whatever that is, but that would be to pick up a whole new game that's not fucking Smash Bros. Siren, thank you for resubbing with Prime for the 8th month in a row. What's up, Mauled? Got to keep painting more Terminators for a Terminator, so I'll just keep sitting here. Allow my internal Warhammer thoughts to pollute your brain via osmosis before you partner with Kenobi. Thank you, Siren, and welcome back to the dog home. And Dr. Shamu, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Welcome to the dog home. DMC, thank you for the 200-bit cheer. I want to see the John Maldhound Darkest Dungeon playthrough. We could do something like that. So there's some games that I'm going to, that I'm probably going to discount out of hand. There's things like Helldivers. Helldivers, we will probably have one-off streams. That's not going to be an arc. I think for arc, I'm imagining this is game that I commit to for some significant length of time with a defined end goal. I think games like Helldivers 2, I think games like Monster Hunter Wilds, those are games or games like Repo, those are great every once in a while. We do this with some of my friends because the dynamic is cool, and we do it to play off of each other well, and maybe like get some good clips there. I don't think those are arcs because we can't give clear goals to them. We cannot give like clear deliverables, and we can't put a stamp of like we succeeded at this thing or we failed at this thing, but it's not my fault and here's why. I've played both Hades and Hades 2. We could do, my worry about Hades and Hades 2 is like the most reasonable goals to set are likely speedrun goals. And if I set a speedrun goal, it's really hard to talk. Like it's really hard to be entertaining while locking in that hard. So yeah, there's beat a game, and if you haven't voted yet and you want to see me like just straight up beat a new game, something like Darkest Dungeon, something like Hollow Knight, that would be new variety game territory. I'm not going to do so another thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get a full-time job. We're not going to do Warframe of Path of Exile 2. Troper, don't lie. I'm a big fan of Warframe. I like Warframe. My thing with Warframe and my thing with Path of Exile 2 is the time investment to do the content stuff is so high as to be not worth it. Whatever this is, it has to be a thing where I can like click it on, have deliverable, try to hit goal, rather than, okay, this is Warframe, you're going to watch me run this individual mission 18 fucking times to get the one part I need to trade in for the doohickey, to trade in for the Bingleborp to turn into my new frame. Like, I think that is Warframe, fun game to play, not something I think I'm going to make compelling content out of. New variety game is also kicking the absolute fuck out of everything else, which is honestly a little bit unexpected. YouTube, you don't get the poll, unfortunately. Listen, Twitch does just hate you. I haven't played 9 Souls, no. Caboose is voting for League Grind. See, in Caboose, I thought the League or Mythic grinds, I thought one of the 2 ranked grinds would get way more votes. It's currently, we have 5 votes for the League of Legends grind. We have 12 votes for the Mythic on Arena ladder grind, and we have 63 votes for new variety game. Salty, thank you for the $5 tip, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. And Whitebread, thank you for the 95-bit cheer. Which one lets me give you custom cards? I'm not sure. Probably, I mean, new variety game ended, or new variety game won. I will continue to pair it playing Dark Tide or Space Marine 2 since it's way shorter of a grind than a looter shooter, and up to like difficulty 4 you can just talk while playing. Okay. So the other thing, I count Baldur's Gate 3 in with Repo and Monster Hunter and all of that. We could do a challenge run. Quite frankly, I've seen my friends do Baldur's Gate 3 challenge runs and they fucking flop. I think Baldur's Gate 3 challenge runs are perhaps good for clips, but I think outside of just getting clips, when I've seen that content streamed, it tends to do very, very poorly, and I'm not like in love enough with the idea for that to defeat the fact that it would not be tremendous. So, new variety game is what we're going to do. So what I'm going to say is, let's play Senran Kagura Peach Bleach Splash. I'm going to open up my Steam and hope that this is not... The buxom shinobi of Senran Kagura are back, and they've traded their katanas for water guns in this third-person splasher. Yeah, this looks like a tremendous variety game. Who said this? Jomi? It's going to look like you're being banned, Jomi. Have a very nice day. Have a very nice day. Oh, the tags are hentai. Okay, perfect. Okay. So the next arc is going to be some type of new variety game. We picked that. We won instantly. So Siren, OnlyFangs is not dead, but it is mostly over, and it's like what sucks is it's dead for us because we got here too late. OnlyFangs is doing one last ride in Blackwing Lair. Official date TBD. It depends on when Blizzard reses everybody. And then after that, some people might stick around. If people do stick around, I'm gonna try to play with them. But like the hard fact is, I am like spot number 200 on this guild's roster, and they're doing one last ride with the like 30 to 60 people that have been pushing the hardest from the very beginning. And God, I wish I could be a little snake somehow and be like, don't worry guys, here's the plan, here's how we get into the raid team. All of these people deserve to be at the finale more than I do. And so the way it's going to end for OnlyFangs 2 official is all of these people who got robbed by the DDoS, they're being brought back to life by Blizzard, including other people who are outside of the guild. The non-streamers are being brought back too. And then the guild is going to go have their big finale, and then the curtain's going to close and the music is going to play, and I'm going to be there going like, oh, well, I wish I had been able to join up a few months ago. Okay, so we've had a couple suggestions, so I'm going to run up a new poll now for what the new game is. Now, there is still a possibility I get to raid with OnlyFangs, but it's going to depend on if there are some people who want to stick around even after the last ride. If enough people want to stick around, I might be able to join those people on a raid team. That would be really cool. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. You cement your lead on the top of the dog pile. Darkest Dungeon would be perf for content, good for clipping reactions, good for victory stuff, and you can rename little guys after people in chat for incentives. Okay, sick. That does sound good. Another question, why are we Googling birds? Because birds are cool. Next question. All right, so I'm going to run up a new poll. And now we're going to vote on the various suggestions that have been made that I think are reasonable. And after this, Joe Salsa, we will finally get to that Warhammer update. So let's see. There's, what did we say? We said Hollow Knight. We said Darkest Dungeon. I think I'm gonna discount grindy games. We could do Persona 5. Yeah. I'll put Persona 5 in there. Pravis009, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Look, I'm pretty open-ended right now. The main thing is I want it to be something where we can have an end goal. Like it has to be something. It has to be something where we can say like, this is how the arc starts, and this is what counts as the arc ending. I'll put Pokemon Challenge Run as kind of a catch-all. I'm down with doing Pokemon. Aether's Golem, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. Chaotic Order, I think we're probably not going to do Dota 2 right now. Like if Variety Game is winning over League, I don't think the answer to that is let's do different MOBA. Right? Like I don't think it's, all right, you guys didn't want that MOBA? Fuck it. Sapphire King and Tiki the Moth, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friends. And then we'll do Zero Escape series. I don't know if that's one person commenting diligently, but I keep seeing it multiple times. So we won't allow additional votes. Here are the leading 5. I will say we may do a runoff vote if no one game can clear like a third of the vote, we'll do a runoff. Sapphire King, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate that generosity. Oh, hell yeah, Sapphire. Thank you for coming by. See, Moonstalker, I'm not sure, like, I'll tell you what, if we end up doing a runoff, I'll put Stardew in for whichever gets the fewest votes. All right, so Darkest Dungeons is currently in the lead, close behind Pokemon Challenge Run. Nobody gives a fuck. Well, not nobody, but relatively few people give a fuck about anything else. And so Relic, what I would urge, so for anybody undecided, what I would urge you to consider is the things we are valuing. I want to be able to talk to chat while I'm doing it. I want to be able to have clear beginning and ends to the arc. Those are like the two main things. If we can do things on top of that to like reward viewers, reward people who cheer subs, reward people who do bits and stuff like that, cool. But it's mostly, will I still be able to talk to chat? And on top of talking to chat, is this a thing where we can say like, the scene begins with me downloading Pokemon Fire Platinum, and the scene ends when I have beaten a Nuzlocke of that game. Yada, yada, yada. Well, I mean, hey, the thing about Hollow Knight being tough for audience interaction, good thing that motherfucker is losing. Hollow Knight is a distant third right now. Is Pokemon Challenge Mode a specific game? No, that would be if that wins TBD. That could be Poke Rogue, that could be a Nuzlocke, that could be a randomizer. But I think so that Pokemon Challenge Run is just a vote for like Pokemon as an IP, and then we will get more granular on what the challenge run is after we do it. What about building goals in a survival? I don't like that as much. I think that it's not impossible. It would have to be a survival game that I really, really fucked with. I would have to really like the whatever the survival game was. 'Cause like I know that I would love Pokemon, right? I know that I love Pokemon. I'm sure that I would have at least an okay time in Darkest Dungeon. Please look at a loft. All right, I will consider a loft for the runoff. Feel good, cozy survival game set in the clouds. I would firebomb my own house. Straight up, this does look very cute and cozy. I would firebomb my own house. Do you know what happens when I play Minecraft? I joined my friend's Minecraft server, and he was like, oh, look at my house. Look at our friend's house. Look at our other friend's house. Where do you want to build your house? And I went, okay, I'll build my house right here. And I did a like 4x4 cube, and I was like, hey, can you lend me a weapon? And he went, here you go. And he lent me a diamond sword, and I dug to the center of the earth, and I fought spiders for like 3 hours straight, and then I logged out. If you put me in a survival game, I will find the combat mechanic, and I will squeeze all of the dopamine out of the combat mechanic in one session, and then I will uninstall the game. Okay. So I think when this poll ends, unless we get a late surge, when this poll ends, we will be doing a runoff because Darkest Dungeon and Pokemon are within way fewer votes than will still be on the table once Persona 5, Zero Escape, and Hollow Knight get wiped out. Like if we put all the votes from Hollow Knight, Persona 5, and Zero Escape still on the table, then I think the outcome changes. So right now, Darkest Dungeon 1x4. We're going to run this back. Kat, I've played Terraria, and I think that still becomes, I just like shoot everything as quickly as I can. Okay, I'm only going to give you all 3 minutes for this one. We're going to tighten this one up, and then we're going to start getting into roast for the day, which I see Chaotic Order and I also see Starry. So we're still looking for, have we seen Plain Simple Steve? And then after Plain Simple Steve, Turtle Stew, but we know Turtle Stew is gone. Everyone, please, I'll give you smooches for Pokemon votes. For the people who just got in, who missed the OnlyFangs update, the situation is they're doing one last ride for the people that got DDoSed last weekend because Blizzard is doing revives, but they are calling it after one last ride. And so what that means for us is I'm dead in the water because my character, for those of you who missed last stream, my character died yesterday. So I'm back. I am back at level 1. And so for me, like, I'm not going to be able to do anything with OnlyFangs before the guild calls it quits totally, which sucks. I am frankly a bit I'm heartbroken about it. I'm really sad because I thought I was going to be able to get to experience all of the like WoW classic stuff for the first time through the community lens of this guild, and I'm not going to get to. We will see what happens with OnlyFangs 3. I mean, Cad, I did die to my own hubris. I attempted to Holy shit, we're neck and neck with Pokemon. All right, so hold on, actually. We have a minute left. Darkest Dungeon leads by 1 vote. The vote is 49% to 51%. Darkest Dungeon still leads by 1 vote. More votes are now coming in. We are almost to, I think we're at like 40% voter turnout. We are beating U.S. elections. Darkest Dungeon now leads by 3 votes. Oh, back down to 1. I mean, Slath, we can do both, but then it also becomes like, no, there has to be stakes. No, there has to be stakes. Don't play Darkest Dungeon. That shit is flat out ass legit 500 hours in game, parentheses. I mean, so what will happen is whichever one wins, yeah, like if Darkest Dungeon wins the vote, which they're tied now. It's an even tie with like fucking 20 seconds to go. Darkest Dungeon up 1. I do not know how we redo the runoff if this does tie. Darkest Dungeon wins by 1 single vote. Okay, so we're doing Darkest Dungeon next. I did not vote, by the way. It's 47 to 46. So anyway, my character died. I tried to solo an elite that I could not handle, and the real fuck up was I did not plan out my escape route completely enough. And so when I realized I couldn't handle the elite, I disengaged from the elite and wound up trapping myself between multiple respawns that had occurred, and then one of them patrolled into me and I got killed after that. So I got away from the elite, and then guy jumps on me. I got away from him, but pathed myself into a new guy. I got away from him, but then ran into a new guy because there was only one like very narrow exit from this place. And then the third non-elite, but the 4th creature total was the one that finished me off. So it was like, I think, honestly, I got caught sleeping when I did the poll. Let me tell you how much this fucking spider hated me, okay? Why am I getting a phone call? That's too bad. Let me tell you how much this fucking spider hated me. I went to pull it, and I went, okay, I'm going to pull this spider. I'm going to send my pet in. The pet will steal its attention, and then it will fight my pet. If pet die, me run. Maultown, fine. I pull it. I send my pet to it. Before my pet has done anything, I think my pet maybe got 1 hit off, but my pet had not pulled aggro yet. The spider roots it for 8 seconds and rushes my ass. So I have to kite the thing back into my pet so my pet can taunt it. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is already a situation. I'm going to get out of here. So with my pet on it, I go to run. It nets me when it sees me running. This shit was straight up vindictive. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. My pet has aggro. The net will run out in like 7 seconds. But it just made my pet get very low health, so I didn't have a ton of time. From there, I think I played it mechanically well. It was just such a bad situation, and I had so few routes to escape from that I got ran down by other things it was just a thing that I shouldn't have pulled solo in the first place. But at the point that I was in the situation, I do not think mechanically I could have done much different to escape. Like, there's a million things I could have done preparing for that fight or choosing where I was questing or choosing like... No, it was a 21 elite. It was not a 23 elite. I did not have the insane gumption to fight an elite 3 levels above me. It was 1 level above me. which was still, again, I should not have tried an elite that was my level or above. Okay. This is the same response Jim gives when he spends his path early and dies to a Terror of the Peaks the next turn. I mean, yeah, it was still hubris. Listen. It was the big spider in Stone Talon, yeah, Britt. So anyway, now Warhammer update, and then who's officially supposed to go first? Plain Simple Steve, are you here? If you are not, we're going to begin with Starry Eyes. Spiders are bastards. Spiders are bastards and you can't trust them. Pieway, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you do Pokemon, I'm a walking bug Pokemon encyclopedia. Met you on the set of Tabletop Jocks Vegas. Well, good to see you again, my friend, and welcome to Dog Heaven. Okay, so we have... Oh, the YouTube votes. Okay. No, I'll count you guys. I'll count the people who did type their votes in YouTube chat. So the count was 47 to Darkest Dungeon, 46 to Pokemon. If I scroll back through, Fear the Caboose votes for Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon has a 2-vote lead. Zanubis Spike votes for a game that was not in the poll. Pieway votes for Pokemon. Nebuchadnezzar votes for Pokemon. That makes it tied. Christopher Park votes for Darkest Dungeon. Which leaves Darkest Dungeon with a 1-vote lead. Everybody get fucked on. Everybody get fucked on. We kept the count going. And Darkest Dungeon still wins the vote by 1. So Pokemon will be after Darkest Dungeon. Yes, Joe Salsa, you're getting edged like a motherfucker right now. So, okay. For, MV Wizard 69, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. Yeah, the mail-in votes changed nothing. So for Warhammer, I am still going to be doing something with Pleasant Kenobi. I would, if anybody who is hoping for this to become a significant part of the channel, cry your tears now. I may make some videos about Warhammer. There will at least be a stream of me trying to do some type of like gimmick Warhammer game with Pleasant Kenobi. I'm going to be doing other collabs with Pleasant Kenobi, but any of you who are like, yes, Warhammer variety content, cry your tears now. I do not think that's going to be happening. I think that we're going to stay mostly Magic, and I may vamp about Warhammer from time to time, but it's not going to be like a weekly Warhammer stream. For the people that did suggest Space Marine 2, I've played that game. I like it. It takes like 10 minutes to load every fucking thing in that game. Warhammer Space Marine 2 is loading screen simulator for me. So we're probably not going to stream that game. Deus Ex. Troper, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Mauled, send help. I've had 4 people say, hey, Troper, I've seen this thumbnail with your name on this slideshow. Is that you? Is that better, Troper? Is that better? Assemble a Gundam on stream. I don't want to retire quite yet. I don't want to retire quite yet. Alec, man, I will take into account your love for Age of Sigmar over 40k. Okay, so now, well, maybe not now, but so we'll start the Darkest Dungeon stream. For the people that do want Darkest Dungeon streams, start thinking of mods you want us to run this with. Don't suggest them right now because we're not going to be downloading them right now. Actually, I'm filming at 5. We have some decks to do. If we finish the decks before I need to leave for my filming, we can do mod talk for the Darkest Dungeon run. Vyashno, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend, for the 3rd month in a row. Art streams, give me some Maldhound MS Paint. A lot of people are recommending unmodded Darkest Dungeon 2. Ignatius, we've done Slay the Spire. Hellion boobs out mod, Grave Robber boobs out mod, Vestal boobs out mod. Thank you, Elk. Okay. Then we will have we're going to start with Darkest Dungeon 1. We're going to at least start with Darkest Dungeon 1. Troper, thank you for the extra 100 bits. Welcome back to the dog pile. Boss, you don't need mods for DD2. There will be enough suffering vanilla, I promise. Perfect. I mean, we're going to start with 1. We are going to start with 1. Okay, and then I do not think I have seen Plain Simple Steve sound off. If they have sounded off, chat, please call me an idiot. Otherwise, we are going to do a 1-minute ad break, and then we are going to open up with Starry Eyes' deck roast. I've not played the game before. Caboose, I've not played the game before, so we're going to do... I'm leaning now towards Vanilla Darkest Dungeon 1, and then do Darkest Dungeon 2, and if we see a mod for Dungeon 1 after we beat Vanilla, we'll think about it. Thoughts on the SpongeBob legendary card picks? Boomy, do you just mean the secret lair? Or do you mean... Or are there like... Was there like a print problem that people have dropped photos of? I also don't like that they shook it up. I wish they just polished 1. Yeah, I also hate when a sequel takes anything in a new direction, and I wish that every sequel was just a remaster of the first one. That is also... You like how contrary and shitty I'm being there? The choices they did for the secret lair. Patrick sucks. Everything else is heat. I think the card they picked for Patrick, the original flavor text, talks about him being like fucking cunning and swift of thought or something like that. So I think Patrick is a flop. I think everything else... like, it is under duress that I'm saying everything else bangs. Everything else fucking bangs. Mauld, please pray for my uncle. He's not sick or anything. He's just a Simic player and refuses to let me play Grixis because I play Interaction. What do we mean refuses? Fuck this guy. I'm not praying for him. I'm praying for his downfall. If he's sitting over there with his goddamn 3 visits begrudging you a fatal push. Oh yeah, Toxrill for Gary. So I actually I think Toxrill for Gary is the best choice on the player side of it. Like, I think anybody who plays Toxrill is like, oh, fuck yeah, Gary? Hell yeah. On the other side of it, the hateful side of it, the side of it I most often find myself on, picking SpongeBob as Joda is such, like, master level bullshit. Because everybody who hates that card is going to hate it exactly evenly for being a secret lair and for being fucking Joda. Like, everybody who goes, oh, this is a stupid, childish Universes Beyond in my adult game, fuck you, is going to hate it because of that. And then anybody who's like, why don't you just play the Universes Within? You showed them the Universes Within, they're going to be like, oh, fuck you, die. The Venn diagram of all the reasons people will hate this card is a perfect circle. It's not a cop-out. It's the best. It is the best thing they could have picked. It is the literal best because everybody's going to be mad for totally different reasons, but everyone's going to be mad. It's wonderful. No, SpongeBob should not have been Stuffy Doll. SpongeBob as Joda is art. SpongeBob as Joda is art, and this is as somebody who fucking does not like SpongeBob. I dislike SpongeBob. It is ruinously accurate. Ruinously. I despise it. And in my disdain, I can recognize how perfect it is. What do you think would work for Patrick? I have no idea. I think it is correct to just pick like a random vanilla legendary. Like, I'd believe Yargle. Or even, yeah, I'm agreeing with what Elk's saying. They could have still made Patrick work as that legendary if they had done the mischievous rubbing his hands together and they didn't do the flavor text of like, oh, I'm me, Patrick, me lost and stupid. That's the only thing that makes it kind of a flop for me, is the character they replaced was supposed to be devious, and they replaced it with like a picture of Patrick being a fucking idiot and not knowing what's going on. Right, he did become evil as the show went on, but I would rather we just like... I'd rather we get that on the card rather than be like, oh, this guy's dumb. No, not flubs. Not flubs. I do not... Patrick gets no abilities. I'll tell you that for free. Patrick gets 0 goddamn abilities. We probably got to open Moxfield for this shit, huh? Moxfield's open. We're starting with Starry Eyes. I need to pee. Okay, we're going to go pee, then we're going to get into Starry Eyes deck roast. Starry, I probably got your updated primer email. Am I going to be opening it for the first time right now? Also, yes. Very likely. Okay, I see your new primer. I'm going to go use the bathroom. We'll be right back. Okay. My sweet children. It is time to begin the actual point of this stream. Hey, you had the primary and secondary commanders mixed up yesterday. Moxfield was wrong. Primary commanders all had spirit dragons. No, I fucking didn't. Tell Moxfield that. I don't give a fuck. Somebody, hey. Somebody better go fucking warn Moxfield about that, because I simply do not care. And we ended up playtesting everything with the perspective of switching the commanders anyway. So in terms of figuring out whether the decks played Magic or not, like, who gives a fuck? And also, more importantly, if you're telling me Zurgo wasn't meant to be the commander of the fucking Mardu deck, they're wrong. They're just wrong. You're telling me the toughness deck didn't have the toughness commander? Exactly, right? Like, I don't care. Hey, no matter what the papers say, the bill of lading for the precon decks, what the designers say, we got it right. We got it right. Oh yeah, Sultai deck cooked. I think the Sultai deck plays the best out of all of them. We ended up ranking the Mardu deck first because I thought it was cool that we were getting more tools for Mardu aggro to actually function. I felt the Sultai deck worked really well but was uninspired, and I felt the Mardu deck was like had more Riz. Divine Visitation in a precon for me pushes the Mardu one to peak. I mean, I don't give a fuck about reprints, though. Yeah, I like Mobilize as a mechanic. I like what it's doing. I think it gave Mardu a lot of tools to be willing to crash out earlier. Oh, just for power. That's true. The Mardu deck felt a lot more like... The Mardu deck felt much more prone to stalling out if you did not get one or two of the right pieces. The Mardu playtesting we did was like, hey, did you get Thalise? Ball the fuck out. Rapti, we actually, so we talked about all of that. It sounds like you're gonna have to wait for the 45-minute highlight reel my editors make. It sounds like you're gonna have to wait for that shit. Well, Rapti Feathers, it sounds to me, how did I miss that? Says Rapti Feathers. Rapti, my boy. Look into my eyes, okay? Look into my eyes. It sounds... I'm going to sound crazy when I say this, brother. But it sounds to me... Sorry, my gal. Sorry, Rapti, my gal. I'm going to sound a little out of my mind when I say this. But just listen to me, okay? Okay, sweetie bear. Sounds to me like you might not have Twitch notifications turned on. It sounds to me like maybe you subscribe to Papa M on YouTube, but you don't have the little bell turned on. And this is your daily reminder to go and turn on Twitch notifications so that you always know whenever I'm live. So that you always know whenever I'm going to be hitting you with these sweet, sweet dulcet tones to talk about exactly which commanders can get it, how they can get it, and how much I don't like that fuck-ass Temur precon. Thank you kindly, Rapti. I expect to see you in the next stream. This is presently on my second screen, and the fucking glasses change every time I look back. That's the bit I like the most. That is the bit that... I had the bell on, but I'm turning it off now because of those glasses. Fuck, you win some, you lose some. Rapti, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. Welcome to the dog home. Fucking worth it. Basic bit. Thank you for your opinion, Newskin. It's gonna look like you're being banned. Glasses are going fucking on for this whole deck roast now. Fuck that. Nah, fuck that. These rock. These rock. You little shitheads. I got this shit on. Does it clash with my outfit? Yes. Ventus13X, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. So I think the next evolution of the glasses bit is we probably get like these motherfuckers. We probably go full Goggins and we go it's goggles time. Oh, Vaxrung, yes, you're not on for today. When I was preparing for today's stream, I saw that we had done you last week, and I marked you off. Terrible Shaco, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Oh, we could get a monocle, yeah. We've replugged the mic. Static should be good now. Static should be good now. Wait, is it fixed or is it worse? Maybe I have to get a new mic. Okay, it's fixed. It's fixed. Holy shit, we don't have the haunting background music on for this part of the stream. That's embarrassing. Right at the perfect frequency to infect everyone's brain. Those glasses give Elton John vibes, Maul. Never coming off then. Never coming off. So that's probably the gimmick, is I probably just have 8 different pairs of sunglasses that I have 8 different pairs for sunglasses that I just swap out on demand. This is why I only stream to Twitch, so I can blast my email music and filter out the channel. See, the thing is, I've heard you can do that on YouTube too. I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy. I kind of feel like I also need Groucho Marx glasses for when somebody's being like fake cool, or when somebody thinks they're fake funny. Turtle Stew, am I on the roast today? I got an email for both today and Sunday. If you would like to be today, you probably can be today. If you would like to be Sunday, you can be Sunday. Some Macho Man Randy Savage glasses. That's a good one. One day you need to just have a comically large pair of glasses in your chair in front of a microphone with you off camera talking into the actual mic. Oh yeah, I get a second mic set up and I just put glasses on like Nadu or something. Eclipsed glasses for when the deck is really bad. Fucking sold. Fucking sold. We put these on anytime the deck just sucks raw ass. Okay, I like that. I like the sound of that. John Lennon glasses would be the best. Okay. Mauld, have you seen this shout out you got in EDHREC Cast new video? No, I have not. No, I've not. I saw fucking when I did. So I dropped the thing of I'm Joey Schultz's straight and therefore evil twin. He fucking commented on it and was like, can confirm. I don't know. These are the only 2 glasses we have right now. These are the only 2 glasses we currently have. We have to expand the roster to do additional bits. So we have, I think these are the MLG gamer glasses. I think these big fucking dorky black shitheads are MLG Gamer Time. Monocle might be good for budgets. That's true. Hold on. I actually want to see this. I actually do want to see this. Please don't leak anything. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Joey from EDHREC, and before I get into today's video, I've got to address this.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Schultz's straight and therefore evil twin.
Dang, cat's out of the bag. Long lost twin confirmed, let the lore be known. But really though, can we all take a moment to congratulate Maldhound on having the courage to come out as straight? Much brave, very ally. By the way, Maldhound, thanks for using the pictures that I took after I lost like 60 pounds and was kind of feeling myself. Really appreciate it. Alright, let's get to business.
I love this guy. That's fucking perfect. Yeah, this guy fucking rocks. I had no idea how he would react to that because I think I've met him in passing once. I did not even like I did not clear that intro with him. I did not run it by him. I did not run it by anybody who knows him. I was just like, I think this shit is funny. Let's see. I could not have asked for a better reaction or response to that. That's adorable. Fuck yeah. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. You got to leave a comment, though. I will. Give me time and space to come up with a good one. I want to leave a good comment. Oh, that's so cute. I'm so pleased. Holy fuck! Katozumi, thank you for the 5,000-bit cheer. Some bits to help the sunglasses bit. That's Walton Goggins goggles glasses money. Holy fuck. Kato, thank you so much. Welcome to the top of the dog pile for this week. That is amazingly generous of you. This will be helping the Glasses Fund. It's motherfucking goggles time. We love Joey Schultz. I will be leaving a comment. Oh, Gojo glasses? I like the idea of Gojo glasses. What are opera binoculars? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 5,000 bits, that's like $5 million, right? Just about. After taxes, it's a little bit less, but it's just about 5 milli. These are 100% what we pull up when I'm like, where the fuck is your win con? Or if I get to a card draw section and they have 3 cantrips, I'm like, you told me. Anytime you tell me about something that is in your deck and I just go, I don't know, we whip these out. Okay, we're gonna get so many fucking we're gonna get so many bits. Kato, thank you for the bits I'm so excited for this. This is gonna be awesome. And Durzo13, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. All right, we're going to leave a cute comment for Joey. That was honestly amazing. Rapty Feathers, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Look up Spider Jerusalem glasses. I am not putting these on my fucking face. What? I do hate it here. This shit can go fuck itself. No. Right out. Isn't that nearly the 500 get my deck roasted now money? No, so for anybody that doesn't know, we have only half a meme. Like we could do John Lennon glasses for sure. But anyway, for anybody that doesn't know, we have a like half meme price point to get your deck roasted immediately, which is $500. So somebody on YouTube was like, isn't that 5,000 bits, the $500 breakpoint? It is 100 bits is roughly equivalent to $1, and I believe it scales a little bit. Like as you buy more, it will cost ever so slightly less than $1. And so 5,000 bits, I believe it is like you drop 50 at once, 50k bits at once. That is the buy-in for deck roasted instantly, no waiting. Oh, it says 99 here. Okay, then it does scale more aggressively than I remember. Or I guess less aggressively if it's 99 for... I also know that bits are heavily... I think bits are also location dependent, but I'm not sure. JesseBox20 and Me Dude, thank you for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the Dog House. And Me Dude, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Welcome to the Dog Home. But either way, it is not the $500, but it is Katazumi basically purchasing our next pair of glasses for us. Which is fucking awesome. Thank you. We're going to be expanding the channel. But before we do, we are finally going to go to Starry Eyes' deck. So for anybody that has not been to one of these streams before, after 72 minutes exactly of vamping, we look at a primer deck list and power rating that a supporter has sent in. The power rating cannot be 1 through 10 because that's wrong and bad. What it can be is silly, spooky, or scary, which is a power rating originally developed by my friend Danny Phantom EXE. It's a measure of how ominous your deck is to somebody that knows Magic and is paying attention. A big thing we judge you on is the primer. This is a one-paragraph explanation of how you think your deck plays, or if it is a work in progress, how you want it to play. If you have shitty dreams, bad aspirations, I will tell you and I will punish you. But otherwise, we're looking for accuracy. We're looking for fidelity to your own vision. The list itself is explanatory. So without further ado, let's look at Starry Eyes. This is listed as spooky, comma scary. You are not telling the truth, but I love your title. So Ziatora, Capper of Knees. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster, and that's why I decided to kneecap my friends for fun. Ziatora the Burninator is something of a pet commander of mine. It's the first Brawl deck I ever managed to make work, so she was an obvious candidate when I started building in paper. The deck is meant to work by getting Ziatora out with some fodder, spiking up her baseball bat, and setting her loose on the problem creatures of the board, which then empowers her goons and makes a ridiculous amount of money. Since building the deck, I've learned that it's sort of a slower version of the Aranis Gloomstalker Street Urchin combo, but the inclusion of black gives me better sack fodder and much higher quality goons to later be thrown at people's faces. From what I've seen so far, the deck can pretty reliably get big, and if I'm willing to play the game with Jund levels of spite, should be able to close as well. So first of all, I am going to immediately disqualify you from scary. If I scroll down and I see a food chain combo, I will take that shit back. But scary typically means you do not require exhaustive amounts of setup. It typically means that everything you're laying down on the board is a threat, or if it is a setup piece, it is I'm setting up with this to win the game with it when I untap. I believe this can be spooky. I would believe this could be pre-con or slightly above pre-con level. But your commander is 6 mana. One counterspell will stop your dream dead in its tracks like a aspirational NBA player who learns that they're 5/5 for the first time. So we have a $900 Ziatora deck Chandra's Ignition on a 6/6. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I'm shaking in my fucking boots. Prison Guard Bribery. I do like that it at least crossed our mind that we were going to need to reanimate stuff later on. That is a good impulse. You're going to want to turn off the global tags. I don't know how to fucking do that, so hey, they're staying on. Artifact hate. Okay, sure. Buffing. Basilisk Collar. Ghost Lantern to maybe make our commander big. Giving stuff Death Touch. Okay, Mazarek could conceivably buff your board eventually. Quietus Spike. Dog. Dog. We have a big scary dragon. Quietus Spike is for bitches who can't fight. We have a big scary dragon. It's not a bad card. It just seems at odds with, I don't know, maybe the gigantic dragon. And then we have a damage doubler. Alright, so here's your draw. Ancient Craving, draw 3, lose 3. Okay, so we really hate creatures, is what I'm learning. We have an indestructible Justin. We are playing with indestructible Justin. We do not like them. And we want to tell them to go fuck themselves. So we have additional sack stuff. Oh, I don't know. Listen, I know you're desperate. I don't know if you're so desperate as to be allowing the other token players to draw cards. This good, just good card alert. Ding, ding, ding. This is, I mean, this is definitely pre-con-ass card draw, but it is card draw. And then, sure, this will work. Creature hate. Elk, do you want to start yelling or should I? Elk, do you want to start yelling or should I? I think, so first of all, extremely incorrect buzzer noise. What you need to be concerned with is you are a gangster. How many gangsters do you know that built their empire by blowing off their own dick? Hands up if you have a criminal empire that you began after putting a brick of C4 in between your own ass cheeks and then sitting on a firecracker. No? No? That is what I thought. So the things that are going to work well for you are things like Meat Hook Massacre, Toxic Deluge. We have a big commander. It is now, with all the things that have come out in the last couple years, it is not the biggest body we are ever going to have, but it is a big enough body that we would typically prefer to either do, we want to do stuff that's one-sided. Our commander's so expensive, we don't want to be spending 8 mana to recast this dickhead because we board wiped ourselves. We especially don't want to be spending 10 mana to do it for the exact same reason. What we do want to be doing is a Toxic Deluge for 5, which you do have. We Meat Hook Massacre for 5. Grave Pact, great. Greedy, but great. Chandra's Ignition, tremendous. Blasphemous Edict is you just clean ran out of ideas. The Scryfall Brain ran out. See, the thing about Ziatora, though, is if she sticks around for one end step, she pays for her own recast. Yes, I also get to tap treasures for mana and don't have to spend them. Like, so I said to you, hey, why are you blowing your own dick off? And you said to me, don't worry, I have health insurance. That does abate the worst of it. I need you to look into my rose-colored eyes and understand that's not a solution to the problem. When we have other cards that are strictly one-sided. Because if you're in a situation where Zayatora has stuck around for one end step and you go, well, I'll just Blasphemous Edict because I can repay Zayatora the next time. You know what you can also pay for? You can just pay 9 mana to like fully flip everybody else's table and keep your dragon. Like it's just it is a very extreme solution to a problem that does not yet exist. If you need to have like 15 board wipes, then you need to get to the Blasphemous Edicts of the world. Right now, you have Ingaruk's Wake, as another commenter pointed out. You have Crux of Fate instead, and you can just pick non-dragons, but we really do not want to be blowing up Zayatora because we paid a lot of money for this bitch. We paid a lot of money. Yeah, like Predation's fine. Yeah, you could stick Meat Hook Massacre 2 in here, but honestly, if you play Meat Hook Massacre 2, this is I cast it for 0 and I hope that none of my opponents pay 3 life. So I don't super believe in it. Zayatora players, if you're playing the game correctly, I doubt you have a really wide board. You're not going to be able to pay a lot of mana into this until you have to sacrifice your own Zayatora, and that's gonna not be a great situation. So I'm not huge on Meat Hook Massacre 2. Okay, protecting my stuff. Yeah, okay. So we're not scary, we're scared. Good. Ashnods. Alright, Cantrip. This is a little bit clever. Cantrip defense card that maybe makes you sack fodder. Okay, and then we have more scam cards. We have a lot of scam. We have this is God's fakest ramp section. Do you just keep the Soul Ring up your sleeve every deck, my friend? This is not. If you think this is a ramp, I am going to call the ADA on you, and they are going to have some goddamn words for you. So this is extremely technically a ramp section. It is so anemic as to be worthless. Like this is the ramp section of someone who wants to play Zayatora turn 7. Oh yeah, and this is ramping us when Zayatora's in play. We gotta talk about the future. We gotta talk about the future. Okay, and then sack fodder. So things that can come back are great. Yeah, Forsaken Miner's good. I would hear you out about Evereth. I will not hear you out about Evereth under this fucking tag. This is such a... Putting Evereth under I'm going to sacrifice her when she herself is you need to sack outlet her at sorcery speed to slowly make her power bigger to then sacrifice her and pay mana. This feels a lot like trying to talk to people about how you're investing in like index funds to retire when you're 90 in the middle of a track meet. Okay, so she is a closer. Bloodghast is fine. Well, more than fine. Bloodghast, quite good. Cult's Conscript. This just seems like I wanted to play worse reassembling skeleton for no reason. Yeah, like this seems... That's kind of what I'm getting right now, is I wanted to play Reassembling Skeleton, but mommy told me I had been bad and I wasn't allowed to use the appropriate cards. Okay, then we have an X creature. I do like X spells. Looking at this list, what I deeply, deeply do not believe in is your ability to ping anybody to death. What I most believe in is your ability to little bean, because I do think you spend very much of the game doing not very much. I don't believe in things like Mirkwood Bats. I do believe in things like Jury. Like with Jury, because you're doing treasures, hot shit. Look at the goons. I mean, Crash feels crazy wasted when we're sacrificing 1 mana guys. Bastion of Remembrance, okay. So let's bring this full circle. I'm seeing a lot of Aristocrats energy out of this deck. And I do not think we want to be on Aristocrats energy outside of the very best ones. I will hear you out on Mirkwood Bats. It is each. We are doing treasures. This is probably one of the best ones for a thing that can make 3 treasures on end step. But like Bastion of Remembrance, there's very few points at which we want to have a wide board. The only situation in which we're going to have a really, really wide board is if we get a super late game Song of Totentants or a super late game Termagant Swarm. I would pick whether you want to be really big on creature tokens or on non-creature tokens if you're going to go for this, like, burn the table down. Because right now, because like what we could do is we could angle you really strongly towards treasures. And then you can bring in a lot of the stuff that Prosper likes to do. Maybe not the Reckless Fireweaver, but I know that now I will turn off the tags because we definitely did kind of a PhD thesis on the tags. At minimum, I think we are missing Nadir's Nightblade. Right, like this is another... The pie in the sky isn't to burn the table down. The goal is to make the goons big and then punch people. Okay, so Zayatora's just here for flavor. And we don't want to build... So we want to go to silly. Because we can work with that. But that is like a dedicated thing of I'm going to do a thing that is kind of bad for the commander. But the commander can at least somewhat help. And I'm going to do it because I think Zayatora really has that shit on. God bless you for having at least one tutor. Yes. Okay, we're going silly, but I love dragons. So the people we want to get big. We want to get Corval big. We want to get Kresh big. I will turn tags back on just to see who the goons in question are and see if any of the goons need to take a quick dirt nap. I know you did not tell me goons get big and then not tag anybody goons. I know we didn't do that. There we are. The goons, that's why. So, not, okay, not true. Sure. We may have to shoot this guy in the head. We may have to shoot this man straight in the head. Sure. Not a goon. So this is where we're going to come back against the hurdle of, do you want to be about guys or do you want to be about treasures? If we want to be about treasures and we want to be about Kresh, I think we need better things to sacrifice than reassembling skeleton, because Kresh is going to take 18 goddamn years to become valuable to us. Like Corvold, one counter for every treasure. Oh, it's any creature. Okay, so we get to be parasitic to what the table's doing. That's much better. And more than ever, get Blasphemous Edict the fuck out of my face. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. But then we can keep Crash. So for token generation, I don't know what... I mean, fuck it. I'll let you keep this guy. At the... Not let... Okay. We went from I'll let you keep this one to I will not let you keep this one. I don't think any of the creature tokens you're going to make are going to be valuable enough that populating pays off in the way you want. This seems like something you are putting in to give, to like double dip on a token you've already made, versus, as we're saying in the chat, what's much better is I got a job for you. I got a job for you right now. I think most games, if you play the... What the fuck is this? If you play Determined Iteration on turn 2, Determined Iteration is doing fuck all the entire game forever. Versus something... The Active Treason-esque effects are going to either work with Zayatora, or if we have other sack outlets for either mana or card draw or whatever, then we can take them and then we can like sacrifice them to our tutors. We can sacrifice them to our card draw. Any number of things. So I would at minimum replace Determined Iteration. I think Jadar non-bows a tiny bit because it's beginning of end step, and so if we end up sacking the Decayed Zombie, we take a turn off before we get the next one. Things like Loyal Apprentice are definitely better because it is at least a flying blocker, whereas these are not going to... Oh, you will get it. Oh, to fling it right away. Okay. Yes, that makes sense. Then Urbrass Forge. This one makes sense to me. Spawning Pit doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't think we have... I do not think we have a lot of situations in which we want to have a sack outlet other than what Zayatora is already doing for us. Like, I think if we are sacrificing things, it's because we're doing it for immediate value off of something like Diabolic Intent or immediate value off of Zayatora's trigger, and not because we just want a death trigger. I think like Mazarek and Grave Pact are the two really good death triggers that we have. But I feel like most of the time this effect ends up kind of lost and just ends up staying on board. And literally all I'm seeing here are cards that could be more ramp. Yeah, Skewed Swarm. I mean, fuck you. Fuck you. Good card. See a call for make an example. I don't see why we would do this when we could just do something that is a more aggressive sweeper. Like I'm personally of the opinion that this should be, yeah, like this curve, negatory. No thank you. This curve is like ramp, hugely unwieldy bomb. I don't give a fuck if it triggers Mazarek. I don't think that level of... Like, I think there are typically better things you can do. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. We need insurrection. True, thank you for your contribution to the dog pile. That is true. It is mobster themed. Although on that argument, I would rather cut Toxic Deluge for it. Yeah, like, and we have treasures. Like, this is like, yes, we could take a 45-minute trip to the grocery store that has the cafe in it that you like, or we could just go to the grocery store 10 minutes from home and they also sell coffee. Or even, like, they sell better coffee, quite frankly, because I think that example gives too much love to how effective this is. Insurrection. We could play this. I mean, this would go in, like, unwieldy bomb territory for sure. Starry, I'm going to say this is for sure a meta call on what is your pod doing? Does your pod typically get, like, insanely active on the board, or are you, like, the only person active on the board? But in pods that do get active on the board, yeah, this is, hey, I pay 8 mana, all of you work for me now. But your deck should be much more on 8 mana ridiculousness than this weird, like, I'm defrauding the federal government, and also I live in, like, a 1-bedroom studio apartment, and I turn off my lights anytime I leave. Like, we have this horrifyingly responsible mana curve for a deck that is all about blood money. So let's just see how it playtests right now. Let's see how it playtests right now. Alright, so we get 2 lands, but holy fuck, we get Soul Ring, but we have no colors. So I'm going to free mulligan. We get 2 lands, which can get us Jadar. We have literally no fucking way out from here, but we would have Jadar. Is that worth it? Probably not. So I go down to 6. I get 1 land. I get the fucking spike. I go down to 5. I can't see a goddamn thing in these glasses. I get 3 lands, and I get a tutor, and I get move to bottom, move to bottom. So we start here. We go command tower. Next turn, we go forest, this guy. Next turn, we go this guy. This guy. We get our mountain. And we get to draw 2. We lay down Basilisk Collar. We don't have 2 permanents in grave yet. Turn 4. You lucky bitch. So we Soul Ring, play this. If we're in a truly spooky game, we might be thinking about a Toxic Deluge at this point. It's not totally necessary though. I think we can play, so we can play Zeatora, but we have nothing to sacrifice. We play Evolving Wilds. We go get a swamp or something. I will Demo Tutor. probably Beledros Witherbloom. He's probably the most like fucked up big guy we can do right now. Cash is 038. Thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. With the end of the OnlyFangs era, what's the plan for the Rise of the Goons and the three-man life? That's going to keep going on the weekends, and we may still keep some OnlyFangs stuff going if people continue playing post the one last Blackwing Lair. But the plan right now, They Them Goons will continue, World of Warcraft streams will continue on Saturdays, and we're going to do a Darkest Dungeons variety arc instead of the OnlyFangs Hopeful arc. Eris, it's not dead, but they're only doing one last Blackwing Lair, and so my dream is dead because I am not going to be able to level up in time, and it's not clicky. It is that other people have been there longer and legitimately deserve to be there for the finale more than I do. No, Nerd Girl, I'm still going to catch you. I'm going to beat you into the ground and I'm going to embarrass you. But we're just going to do it without making it onto an OnlyFangs raid. That's totally separate. That's totally separate from me embarrassing you. This is about as spooky as a toddler running at you with a napkin. I'm inclined to agree with that. So... all right, we have a big 6/6 Death Toucher with lifelink. That's non-zero. We can fucking quiet a spike, or I just Beledros Witherbloom. I start making guys. I untap with 3 guys. I can fucking rampant growth, and finally, at long last, I can sacrifice a pest and make 3 treasures and pass the fucking turn. Urabras Forge. I can make 3 treasures and pass the fucking turn. Now we play Mazarek. We have like 1,000,000 treasures. We have 1,000,000 pests. Now with a sack outlet, or even without a sack outlet, we crack every treasure, we turn every pest sideways, and we hope everyone's dead. And we hope everyone's dead, right? So that's a potential out for us, is Mazarek plus Ziatora plus any number of creatures. Whether that is, this is why I like Spawning Pit, you are wrong. This should be why you like treasure tokens. Or if you're going to do Spawning Pit, we should be doing like better, we should be having a better payoff than get creatures at half rate. Like you're like, this is why I like trading $1 for 50 cents. It gives me the ability to spend money. That is true. There's 1,000,000 other things to do that might actually get you stuff. Little Country, thank you for the food chain suggestion. It's going to look like you're banned though. But I do, as always, I appreciate chat sounding off with what they think should be in the deck. Thank you kindly, Little Country. I hope you enjoy your free bottom surgery. Have a nice day. If you can find me a better instant speed repeatable sack outlet, I'd take it gluttonously. I hope this helps. Sorry. Personally, I think Yawgmoth is one of the better options. I think if you ever spend turns 1 and 2 doing anything but ramping, you have made a mistake. That is the blanket statement I will give you for the type of deck that you want to do. If turns 1 and 2 have gone by and you have either passed the turn or played anything but ramp or a tutor to get ramp, you fucked up. You've fucked up the game plan that you want to do. A lot of your deck revolves around some very expensive synergy pieces, one of which is your commander. And so if you're ever going like, oh, turn 1, I will play this cute setup piece, the only cute enough thing is Forsaken Miner. So I would heavily recommend, but I would also really, really recommend 1-drop and 2-drop creature dorks that you are willing to sacrifice later. These are bodies that you will need in the early game to get to a quick Zayatora, but then as you said, if Zayatora sticks around, you can sacrifice things for 3 treasures. And so your Birds of Paradise and your Llanowar Elves and your other like 1 and 2 mana dorks are going to get you to really expensive bombs. Also like Ignoble Hierarch, yeah, Delighted Halfling to prevent yourself from getting countered. And then maybe one day we can even afford to play the good things like Skyshroud Claim. What would also be pretty hot, Gwenna. You'd never want to sack her though. She's really, really good once you need to start running out your incredibly expensive synergy guys. But I've talked about this a few times. You want to be more so than a pile of things that are good, more so than a pile of interactions that you think help you. You want your deck to have a clinical plan for turns 1 through 5. I don't care how slow your deck is, how fast your deck is. If you do not have an on-rails goal for what happens turn 1 through 5 every commander game, you are in trouble. Kalane is hotness. I was saving that one for after the generic ramp talk. Kalane is in my Prosper deck. Turning our treasures into big boys when the goal is to make gigantic goons. My goons do not eat creatine, they eat golden coins. How can you have such a railed plan when you have such RNG on your draws? This is when concentration comes into play. You're never going to be able to get a plan that goes off 100% of the time unless that plan is very straightforward. But it means like when we see, let's look at cards that perhaps aren't helping this plan. When I see things like Peerless Recycling, not part of the plan. That doesn't mean it's bad, but for it to be good and to be off plan, it has to be crazy good. Things like Ghost Lantern, not part of the plan. It is really fucking good to have +1/+1 counter on every death. That matters for the goon strategy, so it might even be good enough that we're willing to keep it. Not part of the plan, not part of the plan. We have to decide how critical it is. Not part of the fucking plan. Tentatively part of the plan. Not part of the fucking plan. Plan, but tentatively I would say, well, maybe we just replace the like sorcery speed, some of the sorcery speed ramp with instant speed. Like this guy, not part of the fucking plan. Categorically not part of the goddamn plan. Not part of the A team, the B team, not even the fucking Delta team. Starry, you put Forsaken Miner back in the deck right now. This motherfucker is the best 1-drop you own. Starry, I love you, please, with love in my heart and hate in my voice. Wrong one, okay. Probably like Cult Conscript is the one we cut or something. But like spawning pit, not part of the plan, right? This is on the turns where we want to be accelerating. We are playing cheap synergy pieces. Bastion of Remembrance, not part of the plan. Ancient Craving, kind of part of the plan, but I think we have better things we can probably do. Gift of Doom, really not part of the plan. But like Death Touch Indestructible again. So these are things where you have to weigh in the meta of your table. Are they going to shoot me on sight? Starry, I do think Mirkwood gets to stay just because 3 treasures is so much. I think Mirkwood gets to stay because this is a... You threaten 6 additional damage on everybody every time Zayatora triggers. Oh, true. Terraphon. First of all, thank you for the tier 1 sub for the 2nd month in a row. Welcome back to the dog home. How do you feel about Dino Nuggets, Starry? How do you feel about these goons being statuesque? How do we feel about I sacrifice a 1/1, I make 7 treasures that look like they could deal 21 damage to you? Delicious. Lovely. So this is like the type of rather than synergy that we're playing on 3 mana, fuck it, play Cultivate. Get to this bullshit faster. Like get to this dog shit more quickly. And then rather than how are we getting things back to hand? Like, you know, fuck Peerless Recycling. I cast 3 visits, then I cast Marin. This gets my goons back. Now, if we don't think Marin counts as part of the goon gang, we can keep her out on a flavor basis. But like, I don't think Peerless Recycling fits on a flavor basis either. And so what I'm saying is like trade out the non-flavorful stuff for here's non-flavorful crazy stuff, or just say like she's the mob doctor. Just learned about something wild and shitty at work today. This isn't going to be good. That's frustrating, Ancient Relic. My heart goes out to you. But like every gang needs a, what's the name for like a gang surgeon? Fuck off, AI. You need a Sawbones. This is your Sawbones. Every gang needs a bad bitch. Also true. Hey, I'm all dark here. Been so long, been out of MTG and too much into Lancer. There's no such thing as too much into a TTRPG. I hope you've been having fun. Is Furlbalg Flutist too cute? Gain control of target creature you don't control till end of turn. Untap it. Gains haste and myriad until end of turn. It might be just cute enough. It might be just cute enough. The big problem with it that I see is I still don't like competing with our commander's mana cost, and this does compete exactly with our commander's mana cost. It is ideally something that we play the turn after our commander. But it is pretty funny. It is pretty funny. Also, hey, I'm all dark here. How much for a rush order of roasting? I have a tourney at my best friend's college. I have until the 18th of April to submit my list. Oh, true. Gang recruiter. We can fit this man into the gang. We can't get the most value out of the myriad tokens, Gorbash, but in absence of getting the most value out of the tokens. What we still want is I want bigly mana mound of ramp, whole, massive irresponsible bombs. So dark dark number 2, since we have dark indoors. If you need a roast quickly, the 2 options are when we schedule, they're going for sale on Ko-Fi on April 6th. When those go on sale, I'm going to be scheduling people as quickly as I can. Priority is going to be given in order of sign up. So the sooner you purchase and sign up, the sooner I will schedule you. If you can't wait for that, the going price to be roasted on demand, any solo stream I am doing, you can come in and say, I want my deck roasted right now. That shit is 500 big ones, which I know is inaccessible. That is the point. For accessibility, there's Ko-Fi. But if you sign up on April 6th and you are one of the first person to complete your information, you can reasonably expect to be roasted by the 9th. You could be roasted by the 9th, the 12th, the 13th, or the 16th are all dates that you could potentially be scheduled for, but that would require you to sign up in, to get in, first of all, because it is going to be, limited stock. Oh yeah, and on April 1st, you can gamble for a free one. This is a good time to reference that. On April 1st, you can gamble with channel points to get put into a raffle to see if your deck gets roasted that day. So, because I realize $50 is also not an accessible price, I'm going to let the free market do what it does because I do not have a pension and I would like health insurance one of these days. So on April 1st, there's the free roast, which you can use channel points to buy raffle tickets to try to get roasted for free that day. Then April 6th, they're going to go on sale. And if you are able to purchase one, and if you are able to get in, you could conceivably be scheduled ahead of that tournament. Starry Eye, I was focused on the curve being traditionally responsible. That is probably better given the mana overflow I've experienced. It is so funny to me that you sat down, you wrote, this is my Zayatora gangster deck. Okay, how do I balance this checkbook? Okay, we have, let's see, that's 2 mana for groceries. And then we got to kill that guy Tuesday, and we'll sell all those organs on the black market, but we have to invest that. Fuck, Peter's, god damn it, school's starting up again in just a couple months. I'm gonna have to buy fucking so many binders for Peter. He keeps ripping the dividers out, that little fucking asshole. I never should have had kids. Like, we're in the middle of we're in the middle of the fucking mob, and you're worried about the fact that we're not couponing accurately. Matsutai, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. What time does the stream start? It's going to be noon PST on April 1st. Maul, is Kellogg Dangerous Mind to A plus B plus C? I might have spelled this guy wrong. I worry that it's almost too fragile. I worry that what Kellogg is going to incentivize you to do is treasure ramp into Zeatora, and then if Zeatora dies one time, you get I like what this does with Zeatora specifically. I don't know if I like it enough in the context of what type of behavior it promotes in your overall mana curve. I think if you just put Kellogg in and you keep every other change the same, this sometimes pops off and is very funny as a theft effect, but it's very like win more, right? We need 5 treasures to make this start doing the crazy thing, which is either 2 Zayatora sacks or we need to have swung Kellogg multiple times. It's a lot to ask. But it is a funny eventual payoff of, ha ha ha, me take thing. Oh no, wood chipper accident. Anyway, more treasures. So for now, let's put you on... He is for sure a goon, though. That's a good point from Aj, is this man is a straight-up gangster. Straight-up gangster is a good inclusion on the premise of gangster. So I think right now, we have tuned soap opera, but I'm going to say this is tuned wrongly, because as you have admitted, we have tuned it very well to what is a archetypally responsible mana curve, rather than a mana curve that actually pays attention to what the deck wants to do. I was suggested Reign of Riches, but I felt it was too win more. Thoughts? Yeah, don't do this. Reign of Riches, if you leaned really hard into treasures, like that one path we talked about earlier in the stream, then this is hot. Then this is hot. But because you want to be on big guys, big goons beating people to death, and Zayatora is just making us the treasures to buy off those goons, don't do this. This is amazing, though, in treasure-focused Zayatora. But when you're in a treasure deck, fucking hilarious. I highly encourage everyone to build a treasure deck just to feel the joy of Reign of Riches. And Dark, thank you for coming by the stream. All right, next, we're going to have Chaotic Order if you are still around, but we do need to hit our next manual ad break, and I need to go kiss my goddamn girlfriend. So I'll be right back, everybody. chair time's over. Chair time's over. We're not getting the chair sunglasses. Hell yeah for taking care of yourself and kissing your girlfriend. Only a man I've ever seen with his priorities straight in his life. I need my kisses. I need my kisses in, okay? Quite frankly, I need my kisses in. Where'd my glasses go? Oh, they're tucked into my pocket. Okay. Excellent order. Thank you for being present and ready to goon. What's up, Justicar? For anybody that didn't go to ad prison, I'm going to take you there myself. Please remember to use code MAULD for 5% off at Cool Stuff Inc. And also 5% off, 10% off at gamersubs.gg, who I have replaced all of my pre-workouts with and my soda intake with, and I love it. Tough shit, Elk. Perish. Alright. I gave up ads a year ago. That is clinically untrue. You may have set your, Oh, wait. It might be because you don't have a partner. You know I love you. So listen. When you get partner, because you will, because I love you when you're successful. Unintentional stray. Unintentional stray, I swear. They force you to have them on. So when you do get partner, they do not, there's a minimum amount per hour that they force you to run anyway. And so we do them this way. So like I've given up on using them for revenue, yeah, because they blow. But you do have to, you either run them manually or people just get like abducted by mid-rolls at random times. I've blocked enough ads on Elk Stream to know they have ads. Okay, so you little liar. You deserve the stray then. Sit in your corner and think about what you've implied. Can I get this fucking... Thank we. We also have... Let's count up our random smasher passes. Oh shit, BK Chattanooga. Thank you for the Prime sub. I'm sorry I missed that. Welcome to the dog home. We have one random smasher pass from the Sauce God. We have... Oh, you gave up watching ads. That makes so much more sense. That makes infinitely more sense. Let's see if I'd fuck this magic card. Yup. Well, how do you do? I've got an artifact you could try destroying. Okay. Chaotic Orders time. This is a spooky deck. I've been running this list for a little over a year. I'm satisfied with how it plays. If you think you can find improvements, go ahead. Game plan A is to make as many copies of mill artifacts as possible. This is usually done with the Hidden Commander, Prototype Portal, plus Altar of the Brood, or Mesmeric Orb. Game plan B is the infinite combo with Grinding Station. Sorry, guys. I had a fucking... Oh, God. I had a terrible nightmare that somebody sent in a fucking Whoopsie Daisies Infinite. Oh, wait. They did. I'm going to be calling this shot in. Okay, let's see if we can save you. So I do understand. I'm not even looking at chat right now. I refuse to let chat poison my brain on this before I say my piece. I do understand the need to have an out. If you are doing copying mill artifacts, that is very toxic, brutally silly, does not seem like a very effective game plan unless you do get the Christmas land of I have 8 copies of Mesmer Corp. So I do understand I want to have a hard out. I think as hard outs go, grinding Station Infinite is like as bad as it gets in terms of terminally boring ways to end the game. So I would love to investigate if we can swap this out for something that still works as an out, but does not make everybody just make the womp womp noise when they see it hit the table. So now I will pull up the deck list and I will allow myself to look at the chat compiler again to see what you animals think about it. So when I say whoopsie daisies infinite chaotic, I'm not referring to, well, sometimes there are people who are like, oh, I didn't even intend for it to be infinite. What I'm talking about is I desperately and deeply dislike when the game plan is, hey, I have plan A, which can win the way I want to, and then I have plan B, which is this much better thing. But don't worry, I'm not going to do the much better thing because I'm such a chill guy. I'll only do it if I have to. That, to me, never fails to feel condescending and boring. So that's mainly what I'm going to interrogate. If your plan A is legitimately, like, stronger and easier to attain than plan B, I'll let you cook a little bit. But if we look at this and it's like, oh, this deck is clearly set up to be a plan B deck, and you are forcing plan A out of the goodness of your heart, that's lame. As well built as either plan may be. So let's look at this. I have not seen Prototype Portal before, so let me find what this secret little treat is. So we exile from hand. Okay, so we play Prototype Portal. And then every time we tap Prototype Portal... No, it's not even the frequency with which you do it. It's whether or not you are forcing yourself to do plan A from a piloting standpoint when plan B could have won you more games. Which, honestly... at this point, none of your feedback matters. I'm going to look at the list and determine if you're a little liar boy. Siren, there's your issue. I scrub every Hinata deck from my mind the moment I see it. Yeah, I could win, but let's pretend I couldn't and keep having fun. That is the fuckery I wish to investigate. Prototype Portal mirror works. Matthew 14:9, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. That's a fucking... Alright, that is a sick... I do love the tags. And whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. Okay, big tutor package. Makes sense for what is a kind of silly-ass combo. Does make me worried about the plan B thing. Declare them guilty, oh god. So recursion, grave hate. Oh, okay, so it's for the exile all graveyards. Got it. So we've played against what, like one reanimator player? The Lord protects and preserves them as they are counted among the blessed in the land. He does not give them over to the desire of their foes. Honestly, while I do love the tags, I do not think there is anything more fitting than a like diehard Christian for the type of person that would build a secret combo deck and then be like, oh no, but I'm not unleashing it on you. I'm nice. I realize you probably wrote these in jest, but psychopathic Christian is the exact type of energy that would build a secret combo deck and then think they were so kind by doing the funny thing instead. Okay, 10 pieces of card draw, but a lot of it gives other people cards, which is diabolical. Repent and I will not combo you out. Okay, so here's the mill. We're playing Kayla. We are wheeling into these guys. What's honestly difficult is to set up what we want to happen. We have to get these cards into hand. And this returns to the battlefield. Let's just see. Let's just see how the playtest goes. Okay, we play an artifact land. Okay, sick. Sick fucking as. Turn 2. We can't recruit her yet. So maybe we fucking Graft Diggers turn 1. Fuck these guys. We recruit her. Now, Chaotic, since you're watching, what am I getting with Recruiter? This is a combo deck, so I don't want to, like, is it Oswald? Am I fiddle bendering? Am I fiddling? Am I fiddle bendering to get to the 4 mana thing? Shut the fuck up about the Philia, Elk. Shut the fuck up about the Philia. I hate that I'm gonna end up recommending Philia in the deck, but shut the fuck up about it. Okay. I'm gonna get Oswald. So this goes to hand. We can play Oswald and Ghost Vacuum. So play Goldmere. Oswald sack Goldmere. I get to get a 3 mana artifact. I don't think it particularly matters because I'm going to be turning it into the copier. And at this point, I would play that tapped. So this will be untapped. Crank Oswald again. We get the portal, right? Because this goes to field. Please, God, tell me it goes to field. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Goes to field. We floated a white mana from it. Using a white mana. Exile orb under it. Using a white mana and 1 more. Copy. Yeah? Yeah, sick as fuck? Okay. Walking Atlas just to feel something. Well, this guy, this guy. Now what I am surprised by, yeah, is at this point you get a braided and you get 2 for 1, for sure. But in the Magical Christmas Land, we will subject all spooky decks to the same rules that we subject the precons to, which is you get 10 turns of nobody being mean to you ever. What I am most surprised by is the lack of untappers. Yeah, listen, a Braid, Vandal Blast, we go cry in the fucking corner. Do we have protection? No, but we have a shitload of Grave Hate. We have a shitload of Grave Hate. It kind of leads me to believe that this is being played into better combo decks than this one. Actually, no, that can't be true because we're letting them draw cards. We were playing against combo players. We would never fucking let them draw cards. But I think the serious thing that is missing to make this properly spooky is we have no way to make more than one mesmeric orb a turn. I think that is really, really slow for how many artifact wipes exist in the world. And so I do think that we could probably... Oh, okay. So let's do another playtest where I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing... What is it? The blasting station? Let me look at the primer. Grinding station, mycosynth golem, and goblin engineer. So I'm going to try to do that. I'll keep this hand. I play that. Soul Ring, Howling Mine. I don't care if I'm letting them draw cards because I'm cheating. I pay a life. I Enlighten Tutor. I get part of my combo. I'll also lay down Grafdigger's Cage. Grinding Station. I will discard probably this. Draw 2. Okay, we do have an untapper. I play this tapped. So I play her. I can't tap her with haste, although I do still have 3 mana open. So I can... Oh my fucking god, we have Mana Vault? So I Mana Vault Mirror Works. And then... Next... And we have fucking Smothering Tithe. Oh god. Okay, whatever. We crank this. And now we get 1, 2, and 3 back. So we get back Manifold Key, we get back Unlicensed Hearse, and Ensnaring Bridge. When these enter, we Grinding Station. I mean, we Grinding Station like most of them back, or back into the fucking ground. Like, I'm gonna Grinding Station, Manifold Key, 1, 2, 3, and there's Goblin Welder. So maybe if I was really smart, I would have untapped this, then we crank again, and then I believe we win. Which is not... Do we need both? Oh no, we need 2. Okay, we need any 2, so we don't win on the spot. But we do get to wheel again. And then we end up sacrificing. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Okay, are we back? Okay, it looks like we're back. We've stopped dropping frames. I short circuited attempting to figure out this stupid goddamn wheel combo. Maya's Ma, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate that generosity. So here's what's fucking me up. I like the idea of what if I cloned Mesmeric Orb as many times as possible. The backup infinite seems just better. It seems the backup infinite. The whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, why wouldn't I just do this? And the answer is because I'm a good Christian who goes to church, which is the reason you're going to hell. But we can break that down later. Yawgmoth's Bargain Bin, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. So there's not a lot of like strict suggestions we need to do to make this better. But I mean, again, if your playgroup likes it, nothing I say matters. I hate the fucking vibes of, hey, my deck has this backup plan that I would be better off going for. Like, I think you would be better off mulliganing for plan B than you would plan A if you were playing to win. And I really hate decks that are not at least playing to win once they sit down at the table. Like, I'm totally down for a deck that is not building to be the strongest it can be. I am, as a player, both as me playing the deck and playing against it, I'm not down for a deck that could be playing to win but isn't out of the goodness of their heart. It feels like very fake charity to me. Because here we have like, okay, we have Welder, we have some Control, we have Smothering Tithe. This could probably work. Never mind, we milled a land. Fucking... So do Plains, Grinding Station, this. Ba. We'll say maybe somebody else has missed land drops now. We play this. And now, okay, I begin jorking it. Now I have fucking... Oh, I have fucking Mana Vault again. So what are these, like, permanents and creatures I get back? Literally 0. So we'll say I milled 1. Literally 0. Oh, the recursion that you need specifically are the artifact recursion creatures. Okay. Somebody talked about this on YouTube. One of those people named after Magic cards. Some people build hard, play nice. Some people build nice, play hard. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I am a build nice, play hard. I hate build hard, play nice. Don't fucking play nice. We're fighting. We're fighting. What are you talking about? This is a, like, even if you don't build competitively, this is still a, like, the point of this game is that somebody's trying to win, and when you don't pilot your deck to win, what you are doing is you are removing the tension that makes the game interesting. Because I've seen people do it. Those people play boring ass games. Gaslighting's different. Pretending that you're being a chill guy. I build hard and play to win, but suck at the game. I mean, so my disconnect is like, Plan A, I love. Plan B, I think is just better. Plan B, I think is just better. I'm trying to imagine if there is a different thing we can do having a full graveyard that will enable us to win in a way that is more interesting than, okay, you know what? I've kind of fucked up. I go infinite, I win. So we have a lot of, like, can we save this, or do I just have to go to bed tonight with the fucking cursed knowledge that it exists in the world? Is what I'm trying to decipher right now. What about like Wake the Past? See, the thing is, we do mass artifact recursion and still lose. Is my shit. Like we play. I'll tell you what. We could put Nugan in this deck. You get new Ugin, you ult, you lose the game. You ult with new Ugin, you get every artifact in your deck onto the fucking field. You exile everyone else's everything. Their creatures are gone, their enchantments are gone, their mamas are gone, and you still fucking die because we are all in on mill. Can Alibu save us? We don't have a lot of artifact creatures. It's not likely. It's possible Alibu could do something. Also, my fucking god, I will give such wet forehead smooches to the first person that gives me a Queen Kayla deck that is not fucked up artifact combo. The Infinite used to not be in the deck, but I was getting blown out by the hate on Prototype Portal, so I added it on. Hi, baby. Yeah, it'll be like 10 minutes or so. Okay. Listen, the fact that you added in the Infinite in self-defense, it doesn't not make sense. It's just you still killed that guy. And that guy is, I think, the fun-loving spirit of this deck. I'm not arguing that you had a good reason to. What I'm arguing is that I still think there's blood on the floor because now we have this secondary thing that we could be doing that I do think is probably better than the first thing we're doing. And trusting ourselves to go, okay, well, I'm only going to do this if I'm under duress, leads to worse situations. Like we have Ship of Theseus, not a different ship, but you have Ship of Theseus created a steam engine. Right, so if we take those two out, but we still have to fix the Prototype Portal hate issue. We do still have to fix, okay, now everything in my deck hangs on this 4-mana artifact, and if I get abraded, I have to go cry in the corner, because we don't want that either. We don't want to be in the situation of, if they point at me and say die, I listen and I fall over dead. Also, this is lame as fuck. Next question. This one's lame as hell. Next question. You greedy. What was it? It's like easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. How about you quote that shit? How about you quote that shit at me? Are there any other ways to clone artifacts in red-white? Probably not. Jeskai could likely do it. like blue. Oh, blue is the home of every copier. So the other question is, are we hard committed to Kayla, or are we open to including blue? Because blue would open up a lot more like redundancy, counter magic, protection, while still allowing us to use. Because then the whole deck wouldn't come on. The whole deck wouldn't come down on fucking Prototype Portal. Then we could have, because the other thing I don't like about Prototype Portal is we have to keep Mesmeric Orb in our goddamn hand the whole game for this to happen. Which, talk about bad fucking play patterns. We can't even activate our commander if Mesmeric Orb is in our hand, because then Orb will be on the fucking field forever. So, yeah, so let's talk about if you make the deck red-blue, we don't have to listen. We do not have to listen to Elk talking about Philia. You can lithoform the orb. Yeah, I can also drink paint. That doesn't mean it's good for me. Plus, that's still... This is spells only still. So it's preventing us from... If we ever... Like, if we have an opening hand... We at least... Okay, we do have... You made one of my lights die with these fuck-ass comments. Like, you're doing a lot of Ain't Nobody Even Get a Sprite, which is a reference to... Now I'm in the dark. But you're doing a lot of Ain't Nobody Even Get a Sprite, which is a reference to a like meme text conversation where a person asks their male partner if they're cheating because somebody saw them out at dinner and gives them their order, and the guy replies, "Ain't nobody even get a Sprite," and ducks the rest of it. I require you to answer the question about why we are hard committed to Kayla when she is deterministically making the thing we want to do worse and pushing us into plan B. Like, Kayla is... You are hard in Boros because we have to build a mill deck in Boros colors. Okay. I can work with forceful idiocy as long as it is deliberate. So we have to be in Boros colors and we have to be doing mill. At that point, I doubt we beat Kayla. But I'm gonna goddamn try. Anything that says artifact. Anything that says creatures. Not this one. Not Gerard. I'm going to put up this guy. I still think he's much worse, but this is at least a way to deal with a blown up portal. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer for that contribution to the dog pile. Quintorius. I will consider what? Yeah, but Quintorius is also 5, and like a big thing, like the wheel from Kayla is very important because our card draw sucks so bad in these colors. Oh god, this is all of it. Ugh. Okay. We're still on Kayla then. Anything else that even talks about artifacts is clearly worse than Kayla for what we're doing. I do think you should cut the infinite. I think just as a matter of taste, I think the infinite's not good for what you want to do, only because it's better. Like, plan A is Dr. Doofenshmirtz, plan B is I shoot you. And any reasonable commander player is just going to be like, wait, what the fuck? You had a gun the whole time? Because I do want to live in the world where you get, like 8 different mesmeric orbs on the field. Oh, but yeah, now we get to try out that game plan you talked about of, well, I play mesmeric orb anyway. Turn 3... we sack these 2 things. We play this. We play Howling Mine. Next turn, mill 2. Mill 3, just to exile something. Draw an extra card. No white. We piss our pants. Mind Crank tap, just to get 3 things tapped. Mill 3. It's okay. Who cares? Who cares? We play Lithoform Engine. We mill 5 the next turn. It's gonna be a crazy turn when we fucking get there. I'll tell you boys what. I will tell you boys what. We mill 3. Yeah, I fall over and explode. Yeah, like 6 mesmeric orbs, I'm hot. 6 mesmeric orbs, I'm on that fucking plan. I am on the I make a million Keening Stones and you die. We don't have a shitload of ETBs, so I'm not huge on Philia. I do want to know why you hate having pips. For a deck where it's like, for a deck where it is deeply important for you to fix your mana, I do want to know what the fuck is going on with your pans. It's been a while since I've really needled somebody for a mana base. I don't know that I've ever gotten pip screwed this bad in the last quarter of a year. Like, we have $900 in this deck. I hope this is already proxied. If it's not, you gotta proxy up some goddamn fetch lands. We are on so many colorless lands. I mean, win rate's nothing. Win rate's nothing. Good for you. Win rate is, you are within the bands of, I am not, like, I don't think you're jumping the table. But like, the most impressive part of this deck is that you are a 2-color deck that has managed to pip screw yourself more often than not. It is like rote academia to just put in some things that, like, we have an Urza's Saga and the only dual land we have is Temple of Triumph. Urza's Saga and all we've got is the goddamn Temple of Triumph. So I would fuck it up. I would fuck it up with fetch lands. I would fuck it up with even like the Surveil land is going to be fine for you. And then just anything that is going to get you both of your pips. Because this deck cannot afford... How many lands are you even on? 35. For a curve that is this low, 35 is not ridiculous. But your like inability to ever resolve the spells you need to resolve, like, oh, thank the Lord we got 2 basics, each of the right color. Oh, thank our Lord God in heaven that I'm going to be allowed to play Magic the Gathering today. And then I crank my shit and I get to bring this mirror back. The rest go away and I get to draw 5. Soul Ring. Oh, I can't crank my... I think I can crank my shit again, actually. Do I have anything worth... I have no artifacts even worth getting back. So now we pass. We pass and we fucking wait. Okay, so now we can gamble. I'm honestly gambling for Mesmeric Orb, and either I discard it and I weld or something, or I get Mesmeric Orb, I play it, and I Mirror Works. How do you make sure the deck does not mill out itself? Danny, I think this is an instance of if you run downhill faster than you can fall, you won't trip. Which I like. I would much prefer for a deck to be on that. I don't want us to go from like, oh, I need an infinite to make sure the game ends, just to like, oh, now I'm going to be a coward and try to protect myself from decking out or some bullshit like that. Fuck no. So this kind of works. It's definitely on... It's definitely on, I think, the sillier end of spooky, but because it's combo adjacent, I do believe that it's spooky. The only thing that I really dislike is the infinite, and we're already on board with cutting that out. Oh, true, Altar of the Brood is very helpful. Is there anything else we could use that's gonna fix just how fucking bad this deck is at running out of cards, though? Teleportation Circle can blink. I don't think we have enough ETBs to really want Flicker, though. So that means that we're also going to shoot the dog in the chest. Sorry, Elk. Everyone, say a short prayer for Philia and say a short Auga for Ophelia. We're not putting the goddamn dog in. Toke McBong, thank you for the Prime sub for the 3rd month in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. But yeah, there's not enough ETB to flicker, and there's not enough other things like Mirror Works to make that... Like, I've seen what I need to see, and I need you all to trust me. This is a terrible, dog shit, awful plan, and this is the best version of it that can exist. This is maniacal. This is galaxy gas huffing, corkboard taped to the ceiling of your bedroom behavior, and it's also peak. And so we're going to leave it as it is as much as possible. If there is... I don't think there's a self wheel. Nope. We don't need to prevent self mill. I am extremely confident this deck will... if this deck's doing what it wants to do, it will mill everybody else before it mills itself. And if it mills itself... Games have to fucking end. Games have to end. Oh yeah, could we do brasses? This is a self wheel, which it's perfect to be not giving other people cards. You can hit it with your commander. And we get like free value. Yeah, if we mill ourselves, God wanted us to die, and who are we to question him? So I fuck with this a lot for what you're doing. You would replace one of the infinites with that, and then I think it just becomes a functional part of your game plan. And then for the last slot, I struggle to wholeheartedly recommend bringing Osgir back in, even though he has that shit on, because your commander cannot bring him back, and we're so big on wheeling. Something to resurrect your shattered dreams if they blow up Prototype Portal is likely necessary. Maybe even just like a deflecting SWAT or something. You're in Boros, you deserve it, okay? Not only are you in Boros, you are in Boros Mill. You are the king of the Womp Womp Fortress. You get your free redirect. I'm gonna call this spiteful, even though I love Mill. I believe they have Mere Retriever already. So hear me out, Lantern of Insight. You are not bringing Lantern Control into Commander. You fucking can't. Your goddamn Mesmeric Orb is unconditional mill. We're not replacing the infinite. We're not replacing the strategy that is too good with a strategy that is too bad. Lantern Control is dead for a reason. It does not work in Commander. If you think it does, you have lived through a fever dream. You cannot take enough Adderall to accurately control 3 different players' top decks. If you think you can, you're playing against shitty precons. You are playing against a downgraded precon, and they also would have been beaten by 2 removal spells. But if you copy the Lantern enough with something like, I don't know, Prototype Portal, I will fucking ban you from my Twitch chat. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you're definitely in tune, Spiteful. Yeah, as Elk and Keeping Its Feel have alluded to, Lantern Control is really good at fucking up one person's day. Lantern Control is really good at fucking up one person's day, but people still have access to their goddamn command zone. And most commanders give card advantage. So you go like, oh ho 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 ho, I'm controlling the top of your deck. I'm controlling the top of your deck. Whatever will you do? And then they cast Gishath and kill you. Might be worth to be remembered as the guy who got banned for bringing Lantern Control to EDH. No, as the guy who tried. You're not Captain Jack Sparrow, okay? It's not we have heard of you. You have not succeeded. It is that you bring it and fail, and you would just smell really bad while you did it. So thank you next. We have to hit... Yeah, like you're doing... You are running an ultra marathon to achieve the same level of spite as just playing Drannith Magistrate. So we're going to take a quick ad break, then we're going to move into Turtle Stew's deck. And Plain Simple Steve, if you are here, please sound off. But we'll be right back. Elveril, no, and if you misquote me one more time, I will... if you misquote me one more time, I will apply free bottom surgery. What I said is you should put Lantern of Insight in to politically incentivize people to rob whoever has the best top deck. That is not the same as achieving Lantern Control. What it is using the free information to motivate people to hit whoever has the best card on top of their library, because you're all going to know what's coming off the top next. It was not do this and you will prevent anybody from ever drawing anything useful, which is very specifically what Lantern Control is trying to do. Thank you for submitting, Chaotic. I hope you enjoyed. All right, my girlfriend needs a little kiss, so I'll be right back. Z had made nachos. All right, we're back. Oh yeah, good nachos. Why did I block the chair? My fault. I'm a drama queen, that's why. No, I did not turn the room lights off, but one of my fill lights ran out of battery. So hold on, we'll fix it. Nobody likes mood lighting? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? That nobody likes sultry mood lighting? Okay, back. Mauled, what do you think of playing Paco with self-damage prevention to be able to steal cards without killing people so quickly? More of a spell slinger Paco style. Jomi, did you just suggest Paco edging to me right after I put the love glasses on? You're gonna make me take the fucking heart glasses off, Jomi. Did you just say playing Paco, but what if I could force people to stay in the game longer after I should have won? Is that the suggestion that just hit the chat? So what's forcing you to... I like stealing with the doggo, so play another game! This is... Listen, I'm not going to come down on you super hard. The desire to artificially extend the game by avoiding damage when you can is the worst impulse of every commander player. Many of us have it on some level, and it should be fought at every opportunity. That is a bad thought. It is a bad thought you are having. Don't trap your friends. If you want to have a good time for longer with your friends, just play another game of Commander. You do not need to full Nelson chokehold your Commander game to try to make the fun last longer. In trying to do that, you are going to reduce the fun you are having. Would not recommend. Yo, Mauled, I'm learning more and more that I'm a combo enjoyer and an avid hater of dirtily mid-range, but my Magic friends are very much fans of the latter and not the former. Any ideas for how I can satisfy the combo cravings while keeping it chill with the homies? You can't. Learning to accept this, and here, there's actually a really good YouTube video on this. You're going to want to check out Buddhism and how you are incorrect for wanting things that fall outside of your grasp. I have seen many attempts to marry combo with mid-range. I've seen many attempts at jank combo, where the combo is low enough power and you have a bunch of tutors to support a weak combo. I've seen attempts to make the combo unreliable. I have seen an endless number of decks that say, I have made a combo deck that is casual. All of them have failed. The two versions you can get are, I have a combo deck that is bad because it's slow, and I have a combo deck that is bad because I have no idea when I'm going to win. Neither of those mesh particularly well with dirtly mid-range. They mesh better than bringing a CEDH combo deck. They still don't mesh. Building in failure points where they can interact. all it does is prevent you from winning a ridiculous number of games. It will keep your win rate from ruining the vibes for everybody. It will not make the deck fit in better with the play group. If you play with people that are so self-involved that as long as you're not winning every game, they don't mind that you are cranking it in the corner while they play mid-range, then that will work sometimes. Not for the right reasons, but we get to the right reactions. But even if you have the most Rube Goldbergian machine possible, like Vic Weave is talking about, that's still a really bad play dynamic. Like it's just not good. It is survivable if your table is very self-involved and they don't care that you are not engaging with the rest of the game. I would say the closest thing you can get is Tarkir has given some new tools for like kind of mid-range storm, but you're still going to have to not be playing combo. So what I'm talking about is like the new flurry cards. So like Aligned Heart is, you know, you combo slowly and then you kind of do like a prowess turn and then you kill, and that can play kind of mid-rangey. That's fine. Alec, yes, this is the point. The combo stage is the point at which you become more of a stage hazard than you become an actual player. So prowess, doing a prowess deck is the closest you're going to get to like mid-range combo, where you do have to build up your threat profile, and then you take a flashy turn and you kill everybody with combat damage, and it can feel combo adjacent. So if you just need the feel of, I want to take a lot of game actions, I want to pick up cards, I want to feel clever, right? Like a lot of combo players, they are attempting to, not vindicate's not the right word. The itch they're attempting to scratch is the desire to feel smart and clever and good at Magic. Prowess decks can achieve this. But other than prowess or like second spell a turn, there is no combo deck that fits in at that level. And anybody that says it does either has a table that doesn't care about play pattern, which is fine, or they are a YouTuber who made it for a video and not to actually play against other people. But again, with a totally like if your table is like on their phone when it's not their turn, then just play slow combo. You know, the ends might not justify the means, but at least having an end is better than having no end and no mean. If your table does not give a single solitary fuck about having an actual like engaging play pattern, then just do a slow combo, and then you can do what somebody suggested on YouTube. Oh no, that's Jagotal on Twitch saying like, hey, I am a Smash Bros stage hazard. If you do not win by turn 10, the game's going to end. I personally think that sucks, but if you find a meta where that is the only thing you can get, maybe it's better than nothing. Okay, next, Turtle Stew, are you still here? Wait, the ad break didn't fucking run. God damn it. Okay, Turtle Stew, we have to hit an ad break before we can start your deck, but we will get your deck after the ad break. I thought I clicked it when I went to go make out with Z, but I didn't. Mald, I'm thinking about making an Eshki Temur Roar Infect deck with the goal of getting her to 10 and then slapping Infect on her and casting a 6-power creature. What are your thoughts? It feels too difficult to get Infect onto her. Like, honestly, a little bit of cookery, I feel like isn't the only method you're going to have grafted exoskeleton? Like the point at which you're going to need so much support to get Eshki up to 10 power in the first place. And at that point, like Eshki's just killing everybody in a couple creature casts anyway. Versus you're holding out to find the grafted exoskeleton. So what, you spend a lot of time maybe attempting to cantrip creatures to get Eshki to 10. And then, oh yeah, you could Triumph of the Hordes on your combo turn. There are exactly 3 cards that give her Infect. Barring, without access to black. If you had access to black, I would feel a lot better about this because your tutor package would be better. Without access to a really good tutor package, I think what probably happens is you end up wet noodling 9 times out of 10, and everybody's going, hey, what the fuck are you doing, Jerry? And you're going like, wait, it'll get cool soon. And then the getting cool is you just win the game. I think if you could find a way to make that consistent, that has potential to at least be like a different take on Eshki, but I feel like most of the time you end up failing. And when you fail, you probably fail really bad. Because people are going to shoot Eshki anyway. Because she's going to get to be a Voltron threat. Yeah, true. Caboose White would also do it. Like Eshki is lacking the 2 colors that would give me faith. Eshki is lacking both of the colors that would give me faith that you could at least tutor the thing. I think the big thing I'm unsure about is when I win via a powerful 2 to 3 card interaction, my friends just seem checked out, and I feel like I harshed the vibes. Especially if 2 of those cards were not telegraphed. Prowess might solve that, though. Prowess is definitely better. Prowess, especially for Izzet, is much, much more telegraphed. If people aren't comfortable with winning on the stack, you generally have to give them space and wait until they finish middle school before you can run that back with them. But eventually you'll be able to, and then it will be all love now. But Prowess is a good solution for that. Very telegraphed. It's typically on board. You can brick, but you have to be a really smooth pilot. Mauled, will werewolves ever be able to be spooky? Pretty easily. I think it's pretty easy to make werewolves spooky. What's difficult is fixing the primary failure point of werewolves. They're getting power crept fucking hard because they've gotten no new support. And if you do werewolves, it's just like, oh, why did you do a Gruul deck but badly? Why didn't you do a good Gruul deck? What the hell? Where's the dinosaurs? Where are the dragons? So you can do them spooky, but you still fold to a board wipe, and you do it worse than the other creature types that Gruul players like to use. Fair enough. I'm trying to find a fun, different Teemier game plan. I have Flub's Landfall and a big Stompy deck already. Well then, Epic, the question just becomes like, why are we focused on that as a color combination? There's been so much pie creep that, especially in 3 colors, like 3 colors, everything is already so mixed up that there's like no mechanic. There's no mechanic or personality type that's part of that color that you can't find in other colors. So are we being different for the sake of being different? Or is there like, or did you just be like, oh my god, Eshki's so pretty, I need to make a deck? Because I get that for sure. True. Why would I play day-night when I could just resolve a Tali? But yeah, if you're trying to build a different Teemier deck, I know a way to make Teemier different. Don't play Teemier. I bought all the decks and don't want to cool... I bought every deck, and I don't want a cool commander to go to waste. I bought all the decks. Capitalism got me. I can't not build Eshki. Jesus. Okay. C-Mac, thank you for coming by the stream, my friend. Listen, it's not impossible. I wish you the best. You are in the colors for enough wheels and enough draw to try to do it. I think it's going to be really, really unlikely that you pull it off. And I think when you pull it off, everyone's going to make big, loud boo noises at you because they don't like Infect, even though it will decidedly be very, very fair. I want to... Feel free to clip this if you need this. People that play with the aforementioned chatter, people that play with Epic Pack Battle, if this motherfucker hits you with 10 Infect from an Eshki trigger, they earned it. For the love of God, play one removal spell or one counter spell in your entire deck, or take the time to look at an opponent's board from time to time. It is fair. He did earn it. No, Infect should not be 20. Have a good day. That said, this shit is happening like one game out of 100. Okay. Let's move on to Turtle Stew's deck. This is a spooky deck. They didn't send me the primer. They just sent a link to the deck and said it has a primer on Moxfield, which is very cunty of them. I respect it. Kami Chameleon. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dreams, white, black, and green, white, black, and green. I usually don't like playing ramp decks, under-supported kindred decks, or high CMC commanders, so I present to you my 4 CMC green Dirtle Spirit Kindred Nethroid deck that sometimes does nothing and sometimes is able to lock the game out on turn 6. Motherfucker, are you a Saw bad guy? It plays better than I expected while building a Kami deck. I try to stay as much within the OG Kamigawa lore while still having a functional deck. Where I was missing key cards, especially cards that draw on self-mill, I tried to keep things as close as possible to the flavor of the Kami of the world as stirring and fighting back as possible. If it doesn't do its thing, I can still default back to ramp, play big things, mutate if board wipe planned. Gold fishing results. 30 games, 1 mulligan allowed. Pooped its pants 4, popped off by turn 7, 11. Did things 15. I'd be interested to know your definition of did things immediately. Now, this may not be as bad as you've said, because some people oversell or undersell how bad their bike locks are. A creature type is not a thematic justification. Flat out. Never is. I've talked with Elk about this. I am a deep believer that a gimmick is contingent on both a noun and a verb. The Kami of the world are stirring and fighting back. That's closer. However, the default verb that every fucking deck in Magic the Gathering has is fighting. Right? If you don't put a different verb in for fighting, your deck is fighting because there's the combat step is for everybody. These hands are rated E. Come get some. So saying my deck's theme is noun is an immediate recipe to have a lame ass, no good, boring deck. If you need proof of this, imagine any elf player. I don't care if you pick a creature type with less support than elves. Anytime you tell me I've built a kindred deck, you're saying I aspire to one day be a Lathril player, but I'm not quite there yet. So with that in mind, let us investigate the rest of this deck. So we have Nethroi, who whenever they mutate, you can get back a lot of things with low power. I'm presuming Kamis have tiny meat, but big asses. Back in Kamigawa, back in Hell, whenever a legendary permanent other than Yomiji is put into a graveyard from play, return that card to its hand. To its owner's hand. Hate. He who hungers. Sack a spirit to force a discard. Soul Shift 4. I don't know what that does, but I presume it sucks. Lands don't untap, but you can untap one land per upkeep. Just good card alert. Just good card alert. Artifact hate. Hand rip hate. Keep stuff tapped down. Then we have some wraths. Just good card alert. Yes, this is both from Kamigawa and clearly related to the lore of the spirits coming back to haunt us. Good. Also from Kamigawa, and also clearly related to the lore of spirits coming back to haunt us. Good. We're still 100% on theme. 100% on theme. There we go. Now we're back. Okay. Lone Dweller. Possible. Okay. On theme. Snitties. I'm down with the Snitties. Do we have... So the thing in question. What in the holy fuck is the thing? As said, as long as it feels a bit spirity, because just playing Kamigawa Spirits makes for a bad deck. Exactly. That is why we're being mean to you. Abzan deck that feels a bit spirity. Zah! Zah! It's like walking into a hair salon and they ask you what type of haircut you want, and you go, I don't know, I want to look good. That is an answer. It gives us nothing. It gives us nothing to build a framework that is going to make the dopamine go off for you, because what's going to happen is in your brain there are biases. You have a deep and rich history as a person, right? You've had your first crush, your first love, your first breakup, the first time you looked at Waluigi hentai on Google. There are a million things that make you you that I have no idea about, that are going to subtly influence what cards you think are cool, what you think is close enough to feel spirity. Like, we're not doing a deck tech right now. This is therapy. Okay? We're figuring out what's wrong with you, and we're going to make you better live on Twitch. But to know what's wrong with you, I need to have a better understanding of what counts as the feeling of spirity. What is too far? Is there an outcome associated with the spirits, or is it just, if I have 15 spirits in the deck, I feel this is appropriate? Because I can see how Blossoming Tortoise is very Studio Ghibli adjacent. Of the lore of Kamigawa and the flavor text, so that was where it started. Okay. So let me look for examples of the flavor text that have stayed around. Before the war, we prayed to Kataki to sharpen our swords and harden our armor. Without his blessing, our weapons are all but useless against the Kami hordes. Okay. What's with the heart glasses? They look dope. Next question. The Reito massacre was a testament to the Kami's unstoppable power. The human defenders might as well have been moths battling a forest fire. Attacking a Kami is considered bad luck, so seasoned mages have developed techniques to usher them back to the spirit realm without violence. The shadow took living form and devoured men. The flavor text is hard. The flavor text is hard. Duty and law are foundations upon which civilization stands. They must not fall, for when they do, they take everything with them. real. What will it say on our graves, Lord Konda? Will it say we led our world to conquer immortal forces, or that we were crushed by our own arrogance? At each defeat, I wonder. So what I'm getting from the flavor text is inevitability. There is this feeling of sinking despair on each of these cards on the side of the humans. The Kami are going to win because they are an endless horde. Now, when I hear the words endless horde, I'm typically thinking go wide. So I'm thinking we want to get a lot of spirits. We want to find a way to make them big and powerful, and then the spirits are going to rampage all over everybody. To me, that doesn't scream, I want to do land stacks. Now, land stacks is good for despair. So I'm not saying we cut this instantly, because it is good for despair and salt and making people as mad at you as the people who were rebelling against the immortal spirits were. But things like He Who Hungers, as I died, I rejoiced. I would see my family again. But then I woke up back on the battlefield, back in Kamigawa, back in hell. That's hard as fuck. Okay. Hold on. I'm building this in my head. So let's stack up the spirits we have. We have a 4/4 who lets us recur legendaries. We have a 2/2, a 3/2, a 2/2, a 5/5, a 2/1, a 5/2, a 5/5, a 4/6, a 4/4, 2/1. Whenever we cast a spirit, we can get some lands for casting a spirit. We are on 27 spirits. So a cantripper that can bounce whenever we play a spirit. Sort by subtype, you insolent man. Oatmilk, thank you so much for the suggestion. It's going to look like your band, though. But thank you, Oatmilk. I appreciate that. Oh, ooh, we have an 8/8. When a name is 1 comes into play, if you played it from your hand, search for a spirit card, put it into play, then shuffle. Okay, then we may exile it on death to return something from graveyard to play. Okay, and we have Kodama of the East Tree, Mr. Clearly better than everything else in our deck. Alright, so immediately what I think we need is banners. I don't know how, I don't know what you imagine currently happens when this deck pops off. I imagine it's a lot of like forced discarding and conceding, which isn't the worst thing ever. The hell's going on, man? What part of the Kamigawa flavor text says you may not tap for mana? Or you may not tap for good mana? If you skip to the scary heart of the deck, things make more sense. Okay. I will undo Oatmilk's suggestion. Scary heart of the deck. Footsteps of the Goryu. Reanimate something. Lands don't untap. ETB. Get as many spirits as we want. Sacrifice 3. Put a spirit into play. So can we... Is it just I reanimate Yosei to keep stuff tapped? Now listen, I'm a little bit of a combo idiot. We can get Hikori to keep things tapped and some big spirits. Oh, okay, so this is like Scooby-Doo scary. Gotcha. Yeah, we have Mass and Tomb, and then we Goryo. Okay. So I think... Honestly, if we want to play into the Kami aspect of despair, I will walk with you. The only thing that's scary about this to me is how much relative advantage you create without being able to win. Like that is what's making me sweat, is how hard you're trying to go with this part of it without that turning into, and then I kill you. And then because if you do this and then you go like, all right, and now because you're not, oh yeah, you can break parity. That's yes. I am glad that we are at minimum able to break parity. I'm saying like this is not very powerful. As far as if this is the deck popping off, this is quite bad. Because it does very, very little to make us win, because after we do all of that, we still suck at fighting. Yeah, so and again, like the stacks aspect, it does make sense for the despair, for nature's rising up and it's going to get us. What I think is missing, like it's not an instance of we need to get rid of this, it is we need to beef this up with something that will turn the stacks into, and now that nature has risen up against you, we will return you to the dirt from which you came. Right now it's just like, I have put a bike lock on the Baskin Robbins. Go ahead. That is the part of the vibe that I think is missing right now. And so, now luckily, that's really simple to do. And I think the only, especially in Abzan, make a bunch of big chonky motherfuckers is like the simplest thing in the world. Now we're going to pull up the thing that I'm not recommending. I don't want anyone to get clever and be like, oh, that's lame. I'm pulling this up as the lame example. But this is the archetypal convert creature into make damage. So we want to find what is a Craterhoof adjacent effect that is on vibe of what we're doing. I do not think we have the card draw to do approach, and quite frankly, we're talking about a war. I don't think approach of the second sun, like Turtle, if you disagree, that's fine. I think approach of the second sun to exemplify we're winning a war is corny. I think it's corny as fuck. All right. Suds Ball is on it. The next most spiritual version of this effect is Spirit Craterhoof. Now, it's not a Kami, and so you may disagree on that part. It is, however, a spirit, and it is a charging horde of spirits that is going to win a war. After that, there are... feels like the wrong type of spirit, yeah, but is on my radar. So how do we feel about things like Beastmaster Ascension? Now, I realize it has creatures on it rather than spirits, so we may not like the art, but this to me is very much the buildup of hostilities. As we swing more and more, eventually we reach the point of just being too powerful for you to stop. Really, you don't think it plays into the narrative of inevitability that is humanity losing the Kami War. I think it plays into the inevitability. I think it's lame to skip all of the violence. I think if we go, I'm going to stacks you and then I'm going to card draw you, it does hit the notes of inevitability, but it totally leaves out the notes of like, if you look at this fucking, like if you look at the arts and you look at the flavor text, the Kamis are killing people. We are killing motherfuckers. If we are attempting to win without damage and without hitting people, I think we are fundamentally failing the vibe of the deck. if we try it with damage and it's not working, and we eventually go like, okay, we have to put in approach as a secondary thing, I would accept that. But I think if our plan A is not, I'm going after nature rises against you, nature is going to fucking hit you in the head, I think we have fundamentally failed. So there's Beastmaster Ascension. There's Overwhelm, which I don't think we want. Overwhelming Stampede. This is also on the vibes of nature overwhelming you, and this would rely on, if I have a good spirit, one of my good spirits will empower all of my other spirits. See, the thing is, Nebuchadnezzar, communal brewing, really good. I do think communal brewing fails the flavor check, and this is a flavor first deck. We could do Myriad. It depends on what specific card you're thinking of, but I don't think Myriad as a mechanic is straight out. So I think Overwhelming Stampede is like eminently fair. Utilizes the spirits to be the closers because they're going to be the ones with big power, and it gives you a way for like both nature's rebelling against you and you are literally being overwhelmed by the forces of the kami. I think Finale of Devastation is also kind of on the, this is much more creaturey than it is spiritual, so it depends on if Turtle Stew thinks this fits into, and this is again the whole point about like the bias therapy, is we have to understand whether it being nature based, you can Photoshop out the dino if it has to be perfect, then Photoshop a second dinosaur. And I think Finale of Devastation is the same type of thing where we can play spirits, and if the spirit plan pops off and we have controlled other people, we get to turn our spirits into a bunch of big motherfuckers, and then the spirits kill everyone. I think that is as close to an approximation of the Kami War cosplay as we're going to get. So let me see how it plays right now and see if there are other holes we need to fill in. Okay. I can't hit my colors. I can hit Night's Whisper, and I can get into Fertilid, I think. I will try this. I'll discard the non-Kami. So I'm up to 4 lands, but I don't have white, so I remove a counter. This goes untapped. Honestly, I do it twice to get 2 planes. Turn 5. Our dick is well and goodly inside our hands at this point, but we get a good blocker. And we can get Kataki. So we're hating artifacts a little bit. We have AO the Dawn Sky. I really don't like Rejuvenator. I think I understand what you were going for with a 0/0 creature to be like a free hit off of Nethroi, but we have basically no ways to sacrifice. So we're putting this out here, and then we only get to do anything if it successfully chumps somebody. Like, I think, honestly, I would most like to build this deck as if Nethroi didn't exist, and Nethroi is here as a backup. In fact, let me see if there's anything that is better than Nethroi for what this deck is trying to do. Okay. Is main set Felithar about to fucking save you? Hear me out. Hear me out. It's got ghosts on it. That's all I got. I'm sorry. It's got ghosts on it. I rest my case. But it's got ghosts on it. It could contribute to the go wide game plan. It would allow us to care a lot more about death triggers. Corridor would be kind of relevant. He'd be another, like, under duress. If a lot of these commies are legendary, which I do think a fair amount are, honestly. Not all, but a decent amount. I think Thalion the Gitrog monster is unfortunately like too generic value-y. Doesn't the beetle thing fit the theme? I don't think so. This is just like counters. This is just like keyword soup. There are more legendary kami that I cut to make space for drawn self mill. I do think that is the correct decision. I don't know if we want to go. Teneb is just worse, Nethroi. If we go for Teneb, he's just gonna play worse than Nethroi every time. King of the Oathbreakers doesn't fit because he doesn't have access to green. I think it may require more significant retooling of the deck. But I believe in both. I believe in main set Felithar, and I believe in Corridor Ghost Chieftain. Now, I think Corridor Ghost Chieftain is a much slower payoff than Nethroi is, so I'm kind of inclined to put Corridor in the same bucket of, for what this deck wants to do, Corridor is just bad Nethroi. But I really like Felithar, although that would require a lot more attention to like death synergy cards, like anytime a creature dies you get to do thing. Because let's see where we're at in this playtest. On turn 7 we grotto. I mean, I guess we could like boon and then just indestructible, but like AO we want to die. We want AO to die. So we sack AO. We look at the top 7. I get to put any number of non-land permanent. Okay. We put that there. I know these are supposed to go to bottom, however, I don't care. Then we draw 5. And then we get this guy, which is just basically a good dragon. Yeah, I am partial to Timna and Kodama of the East tree, but we have to figure out what the fuck Timna's doing here, basically. It is crazy good card draw in the command zone. Like, is she just the understudy for Kodama? Omen paths? Thank you, Zoria. I think we're trying to figure out a good faith explanation, not the explanation the WotC story department would use. Wouldn't Ravos be more thematic than Timna? Ravos would be much more thematic and much more worse. Okay. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about her being a priestess for the kami who's calling them back to the world? Can we work with that in the she got lost, also good. Can we work with got lost? Can we work with flavor pick for the kami? Okay, and we got the spider feel. I don't know why that's important, but I'm happy to accept it. I learned a little bit more about you today. I hate that. Oh, thank you, Nephris. I appreciate you coming by. The Zorro excuse is always funny. So I think, first of all, if we do the Timna Kodama swap, that's much more gooder than what Nethroi is doing. And then after that, I think that allows us to cut the bad cards that we put in because it's a Nethroi specific deck. So those are things like, I think, Rejuvenator. I think Tribe Scout, Tribe Elder, Fertilid, Blossoming Tortoise. I think those can go straight away. Really anything you put in. Sorry, not anything you put in, God. Anything that you put in specifically to work with Nethroi. Like Spinner of Souls, I think, is here. Spinner of Souls is in here as a trauma response, I feel like. Starving Revenant's also crazy. This is, I don't know what type of tech this is. I don't know if it's hot, but you might have third-degree burns on your brain. Yeah, fuck Eerie Soul Tender. Fuck Grapple with the Past. Honestly, fuck Incarnation Technique. We are on such a goofy, bad strategy. Anything we allow an enemy to reanimate is going to be so much better than anything we'd reanimate. We cannot do it. I will not allow you to do it. I think what you can do... I think it's called like Haunting Voyage, actually. Victor Nation. Victor Nation, yes? Yes. And also, if we really want to fucking bring this shit home, if we put, does Timna care about... Oh no, dealt combat damage. Never mind. We cannot force risky shortcut into this deck. So I think this is the type of recursion you want to be on. I still think you want to be on a desperately irresponsible curve. You can also do Patriarch's Bidding, but it allows other people to recur as well. So I would do a lot more quote unquote like normal ramp. I would do land ramp to fit in with the theme of the kami representing nature. Rather than going, I get to put a land card from my hand into play. Motherfucker, you are not drawing these cards. You are not out here drawing these cards. So I would just visit thrice. Far seek. Cultivate. It is spiritual enough. You are the spirit of the earth. Touch some goddamn grass. And after that, we begin ripping off big kami, we rip off Timna, and then we can fucking fight people. And once we start fighting people, then we can get Kodama down, and then we can begin cheating stuff out. And then eventually we can use these, we can still do the stacks thing, we can still do stacks into overrun the kamis kill you, but I think then it feels spiritual. And you can come up with like corny voice lines for Timna to be like foretelling the doom. Like when you kill Justin, you can be like, I have spoken to the spirits, and it has told me that the only way to deal with a Gishath player is to remove their balls. I swing out at you, Terrence. You can do shit like that, and you'll have a really good time. And it'll be much more fun than having to go like draw go into maybe I get to tap down your lands. Well, I don't just want it to be the better deck. I'm arguing that this is going to be the better deck and is going to be more on brand for what you want to do anyway. Like, you can keep, right, like Reiki, History of Kamigawa, fucking keep him. But, like, we have so much flavorful art. I'm wondering why... Thinking that we can't find a 3 visits art, or even thinking that like the art of 3 visits as it is, because it's still a fairy in it, it's still very technically a spirit. If we think that this is somehow unflavorful, I feel like we're now just disliking things because they're popular. I think I just don't like green ramps, so I feel dirty playing normal ones. That's totally fair. That is another commander player urge that you need to beat out of you with a fucking lead pipe. I realize you want to play non-normal ones. Consider this. The kami are the spirits of the earth. It is off theme to not play land ramp. That is, I am officially allowing you to play land ramp, because if you don't, you are not being thematic to the kami. No, I will. I will gaslight you with your own primer. I will gaslight you. This is just a large spider. It's a spirit. It's just a creepy guy. Yeah, Dark, the stream crapped out like an hour or so ago. I don't know what happened. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, the flavor text is on point. We can Nature's Lore. We can Sky Shroud Claim. But yeah, all of this is on theme. And if you want to feel good about it, you're going to non-bow yourself. Like, please, don't worry about this being like, oh, I'm sacrificing flavor for effectiveness. I promise you, you are fucking not. Because you're going to do all this land ramp, and then you're going to do the scary heart of your deck, and you're also going to be goddamn landlocked. It's going to suck. The deck is still going to be bad. Don't worry. It will still count as flavorful because it's still going to lose, but it's going to lose with a little bit more style, a little bit more riz, and it's going to have more of the potential to do things. A little more dignity, yeah. I think right now we are deep in the sauce of greedy soap opera. I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that you have enjoyed this roast. I hope that we have given you some suggestions to get towards tuned soap opera. I very much want you to have KamiWar.deck in Abzan, and I hope that we have given you the tools to get a little closer to it. I will also no longer allow you to be mad at the fairy when you have a fucking galaxy mouse. We have a goddamn galaxy mouse. This is just a hot woman. And we have snitties. You are allowed to play Nature's Lore. And with that, we're going to find somebody to raid. I have to go film a pilot for a new show I'm going to be a part of with Veggie Wagon and Joe Cherries. Turtle, have a good one. Thank you for submitting. Oh, yeah, we can go back and look at your tags real quick. All right, tag review for Starry. Mango, set some punchy Uptown Funk music to this. Not copyrighted stuff, though. Mango, take his kneecaps. Definitely not a front. Real. Hell yes, we got the Yawgmoth in here. We got the Yawgmoth on here. Chase, thank you so much for the kind words. And I swear to God, if you try to spoil a Commanderos live on stream, I will find you and I will kiss you on the forehead. Money laundering. CPA tags, dude. CPA ass tags. This guy files his taxes quarterly. He thinks a fucking fetch land is money laundering. Or her, or it. Kiss the hand. Alright, nice, I like that. Prison guard bribery. I like that, getting let out of jail. Say hello to my little friend. Fuck yeah, we got the dinosaur. We got the dinosaurs. Real. The family. Is this just the Scaly admission live on stream? It's just big dragons. You could have just called these daddies, and I would have judged you less. Oh, them two and Zayator. Right, our commander's a dragon, too. True. Yeah. My fault. I'm an idiot. Lone shark victims. Perfect. Tokens and one drops. Hell yeah. Witness protection. Very real. I like that. Make it worth her while. And we're up to 12. And then Ziatora sends her regards. I do really like the effort you've put into making sure that Indestructible Justin is still going to suffer. I think with the way we've taken the deck, you could consider cutting Soul. Actually, no, you're still doing the Chandra's Ignition thing, so keep rocking with it. And the goons. And we got Kalain. Hell yeah. 10 out of 10 on the tags. Starry, thank you very much for the submission. Thank you for the effort you have put into these tags. Jomi, we just wanted to review their tags non-fucked up. So we're doing the Indestructible Justin raid command. We're going to find a friend to raid. We will be live again Friday. Doing Darkest Dungeon. The new content arc. Oh, wait, no. We're streaming with 3-3 Elk. I did a lie. We're streaming with 3-3 Elk. I did a fib. Beeps is live, but they're probably about to stop being live, so I'm worrying about raiding right at the end of their stream. Maybe this will trick them into raiding longer, though. Let me see if anybody else I know is actively live. Oh, Ames is live. We will raid Ames. Hit Ames with the Indestructible Justin command. They, for sure know... Oh, wait, I think they might be away from their screen right now. No, they're here. Never mind. Hit them with Indestructible Justin. They know what it's about. If they pretend they don't know, they're lying. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for coming by the stream. Please remember to stay toxic. And please remember, next Tuesday... free roast stream, 12 p.m. Pacific. Goodbye. YouTube, that's it for us, but I'll see you